And we're back. Time is 12:30 on a Tuesday. Where's your party, everyone? Midan is about to go into the old mill to maintain a meeting with a rather questionable source. We have Cicatrix and Logi and classic just Murph about to take a rowboat across the bay, unfortunately holding the dead body of Hakon the Hardy, surfer dude, and doctor, chef, friend. Straniu, Finkel, Killian the Blue, and Henry the Kettle are all currently in the Bronze Nilbog, and Henry the Kettle is sinking back against the bar as Straniu advances across the bar room, eyes ablaze, questions on his tongue. Straniu, you got some things you'd like to know? That's you, Claire.
Who did they let into my fortified space and why?
A merchant, I think it was a merchant. He says, he wanted a beer.
You think a merchant at this hour?
He said he was a merchant. He said he was part of the Santa Sam Consortium. That was it. Yep. He said he wanted a drink, and it wasn't weird because it's a tavern, and it was only like 11 o'clock. It seemed reasonable. He seemed really reasonable.
Straniu is going to look. I assume Killian is also in the room.
Killian is in the room. She's leaning against the wall, like idly picking her nails with the tip of her dagger. She's trying to look really calm and collected, but she's 19 and kind of freaking out, and it's obvious.
So yeah, Straniu is going to look to Killian, essentially just for confirmation or to see if she has anything to add.
She shrugs and said, "He really was convincing."
You say convincing as in he was not who he seemed.
No, and that, like, he really wanted a beer, I mean. He seemed scary after, but he said a bunch of crazy stuff. I don't know. She shrugs.
What kind of crazy stuff?
Like he had taken the people and stuff? I think that the guys who we killed on the way in here might have worked for him. I'm not sure, though. I wasn't really paying a lot of attention. Kettle's just nodding dumbly, like anything he can do to not be bulldogged by you.
Straniu's face falls and he just kind of grips his his warhammer gently next to his side just to kind of remind himself that it's there and gestures towards the door. Are there any more that we know of?
Any more what? Says Henry the Kettle.
People outside.
We didn't really look. And I think we'll fade away from you guys on that one as like Straniu with Finkel in tow like starts marching towards the front door. You cool with that, Claire?
I was thinking in my head that Fink was kind of trying to peek out the window to see what he saw, and as Straniu makes his way towards the door. But yeah.
Okay. We're gonna jump across the bay then to Cicatrix, Logi, and just Murph as you guys try and maybe gently argue about who's actually rowing and where you're going. And I want to say that you're trying to be quiet, not only out of like the reality that you're in the middle of a foreign city in the dark of night and just got your asses kicked, but also you have the body of Hakon in the boat, and shouting around a dead friend's body just doesn't quite seem right. Go ahead, guys. Where are you going?
I look to Murph and Cicatrix, quietly saying, I put in a vote that we go to Tormeo and relay information of what's been going on, and that nothing that we're bringing back is good news.
Yeah, I think Tristan would agree with that, especially since I'm fucked up and he wants to have somebody on the boat fix him up real quick. It's gonna be a sad, quiet journey over there. I am pretty strong. I mean, I do only have 3 health, but I'm in better fucking position than Logi right now, so I'll end up rowing the boat back to the Teo de Mayo.
I believe you are significantly stronger, all things considered.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. Yeah.
You are, in fact, equally fucked up at the moment.
Yeah.
Claire, we didn't really mention this. Straniu has used his lay on hands for the day to heal Logi, basically, in his...
I thought Henry the Kettle healed him.
No, they both did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed the lay on hands.
Because he was fucked up. Straniu only had like 5 lay on hands there.
Was this before or after I slept, though?
Well, while you were sleeping.
But you only slept like 2 hours.
They just rubbed your hands on him while you were passed out. You didn't have a choice. Also,
you smell a little bit of poopy.
Yeah, I noticed that. Finkel already doesn't like any of them.
Okay.
He doesn't know who does something, but he knew someone was there.
So, the rowboat is going back to the Teo Tormeo?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Okay.
And then me and Murph will do our best to keep our heads on a swivel.
All right. It'll take you guys...
Any of that booze left?
2 turns normal going there. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Got any of that beer left?
Logi, you got any of that beer left?
I believe no.
I had actually seen an interesting rule I wanted to kind of kick you guys, and it's an optional rule called Dutch Courage. And basically, you take 2 turns and you spend that time like bandaging yourself in what way you can. So like you essentially sacrifice like a piece of clothing if you don't have a med kit on you or a healer's kit. But you have to drink like a pint of wine or like liquor essentially, and it allows you to heal 1d6 back. But it's like a once a day kind of thing. I don't think we're going to implement it today, but it's something that I'm kind of looking into because it seems fun. Give me just a second here.
This dwarven former army man is all for it.
I mean, I'm definitely all for anything that helps the party, but if there's 2 things I can't stand, it's people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the fucking Dutch, so...
Okie dokie.
Well, we can call it dwarven courage.
There we go.
The journey wherein you guys are quietly discussing this booze actually goes blessedly uneventfully, and you are rowing yourself back towards the Teo Tormeo in the distance. Can I get you guys both to do a perception check for me real fast? I got Murph here. Damn, Murph. Coming out hot.
Dude, Murph's a little hidden gem, dude.
Dude, Murph...
he made everything great.
Murph, perhaps saving you guys again, like, kind of peeks over the edge and says, there's... How does Murph talk? He's kind of quiet. He's kind of sassy, right?
Yeah.
There's something out there, guys. There's something out moving in the water. I can't quite make out what it is. It just looks like, I don't know, like a little boat or something. And you guys turn to look, and straining to listen, Cicatrix hears it first, his oversized half-orc green gross ears twitching. Those extra long hairs growing out of them seem to shiver a little bit in the breeze, and he hears the sloshing of paddles. Not quick paddles in water, and approaching you. And as you all turn to look, you see what looks like a small, I think it's called a coracle, like a kayak, but for the ocean. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's got the side kind of buoy to it to balance it out. You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Yeah, they're called pontoons.
They fucking they shark hunt it.
He's right, they do that.
And coming out of the darkness, you see this, and there is
a woman in it. Give me just a second. I will show you this woman, but I'm going to show you this woman over in Discord.
Roll investigation to see how attractive she is. Also, I was not aware that Killian was this 19-year-old little sorceress chick, dude. Like, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's going to be an issue now.
Putting an image in the main base.
Have you seen her bio photo? God damn.
Yep, in main base. It's a
yep, that's my bitch.
leopard skin woman who seems to be approaching you.
Okay. That's my bitch.
Out of the darkness in this coracle.
Is she a Zulu warrior? God damn, dude. Fuck. Yeah.
Oh,
you got
told you there was a sneaky Danny coming.
You got a back shot of that?
Yeah.
He says, yeah.
Stop. And someone calls from out of the darkness to the three of you.
Welcome, fellas, to the beautiful and peculiar land of the Mazda.
You guys hear any of that?
Yep.
It was broken up.
Go again.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Welcome, fellas, to the beautiful and peculiar land of the Mazda. You two new here. I haven't seen the ship in a long time.
We're very new. Very.
The coracle approaches to maybe about 20 yards out as you guys greet each other over the water. This is now a conversation between you guys. I'm out.
You live in these parts?
I may live here, I may not live here. Who are you? Why are you asking these questions? What
Right.
are you doing in this land?
My name is Logi, and these are my acquaintances.
How you doing over there? That's some nice leopard you got.
That would be Cicatrix.
Weird names. You have very weird names. Where do you come from? What are you doing in here?
Getting dragged along for a little mission. Went a little sideways. Now I'm here. Gotta, fix myself up before I can really get into any further detail.
Very dangerous lands. I am not sure if you guys should be here. Maybe you should go back to your land.
That is in the back of some of our minds. Currently, we come to the ship with sad tidings.
Well, you guys, I don't have time to fix all your problems in this new land. I have enough with mine. But I might need a little bit of your help. I'm looking for a plant. I'm looking for some medicine. Have you ever heard about the guaco?
I could look into it. I know a thing or two about the wilderness. If there's a plant out there, I probably know it.
Well, if you find me some guaco, I can give you some information about the land.
All right. I'll take that deal. You, how do I get a hold of you?
Well, every afternoon at dusk, you can find me around here because I have to go down south to find my beautiful, darling love to whom I surrender every day of my life.
Well, how about this? See you at dusk. One of these days, get myself fixed up. Then we'll talk about it.
I will looking for you guys. Get me the guaco. It's very important, okay?
Fast as I can.
Okay, and that is it.
Giggity
Julian
deuces.
just
I love
gives its way on the kayak.
Tommy has all of a
There's
sudden.
no way.
Tommy all of a sudden developed a Western accent.
What the fuck, dude?
Am I right? I'll get
It's
myself
fine to find your
cleaned
voice,
up.
you know, it's okay. Okay, so as you guys were on your way back, this I don't want to say Amazonian, tribal looking.
I'm
lady
into it. Yeah, that's why I helped out. Goddamn right.
rows her way up to you guys and asks you if you know anything about any particular medicine that she's looking for, and perhaps questions why you're here. She goes on to tell you that she's looking for this plant called a waka, and that if you find it, she can be found in the area at dusk most days. You agree to look around for this in any way, shape, or form, and I think that Cicatrix is decidedly interested in following up on this at a later date. She is rowing away. Is there any clarifications or things that you guys would like here?
I'd like to roll like a. I would like to see if I can get a better look onto like what kind of like armor she's wearing, if there's any noticeable things on like the boat or that I can relate to anybody else and ask questions.
I'll take a perception on that. That seems fair. I also feel like that conversation was a little rushed. Logi might have had questions or something along those lines there. Is that accurate?
No. Logi
Okay.
has things on his mind.
Fair enough. Very good. Tommy, hit me with a perception check. Yep. Damn.
What kind of underwear was she wearing?
Tommy loads up. He blows a kiss, loads it into his arrow, and shoots it at her. She's
she's a survivor. It's very clear in what she has. The vessel that she's in appears sturdily constructed and well capable of handling like the coastal waves of the ocean and perhaps the bay that you saw yourselves on the edge of as you sailed in. The bay that we're like the inlet that we're looking at here on the screen is one of many in a greater curling coastline of Kinvara at large. She looks as if she probably travels this regularly. You see the image there, so she's instead of leopard print, think of it as like scale. She seems quite capable, but also not really interested in anything beyond what she came to question you about. Her job done and your ignorance on this revealed, she rolled out. As far as things that are like on the vessel, I'd say that like you probably see a solid leather backpack or like oilcloth wrapped up behind her kind of thing, maybe a net over top of it. Sensible things for someone who might travel via like ocean kayak regularly. She fades into the darkness.
See you again.
I'll miss you.
Bye. Have a good time.
Just like quick listening to.
Yep, she's gonna chill and listen, but that was it. Just a little guest appearance quest plug there for you guys.
I loved it.
And then you guys are free to continue on towards the Teo Tormeo. I believe we talked about 20 minutes of that for that taking was probably like 14 or 15 to actually get there, getting onto the boat, maybe another 5 minutes to pull up, to clamber up and everything. You are hailed by the ship as you guys approach. Who goes there? Kind of floats out over the water. The voice is like, I'd say it's both loud but pitched low to not travel as far as across the water as just straight up yelling would in a quiet evening bay like this. Suggesting perhaps a sailor or someone familiar with the water.
Sus boy, lower the ropes and pull us up. We have information and we have bad news.
Oh, this drunken fuck, you hear, pitched obviously so that you can hear it as you guys pull up and clunk against Teo Tormeo. a rope ladder clatters down the side of the ship, and you guys are free to climb up.
You're gonna need to drop a rope down for this one.
Which one? They call, but the rope falls down and like clatters against the. It kind of lands on Hakon a little bit, but like coils into the bottom of the boat.
Covers his face a little bit.
For a fallen.
Murph sets about like essentially tying a harness on. It's incredibly difficult for him though, because Hakon was fucking huge and Murph is very small, so it's almost comical to watch. Murph seems to be actually quietly crying as he's doing it, and if you guys try and help, he slaps your hands away. You guys climb up the boat.
We have bad news. We have good news.
I'll get the captain. One of the deckhands says, and runs towards the main cabin. As that's occurring, stumping up from the stairway from below decks comes the sergeant guy I can't actually remember the name of. I don't think I actually have this shit in my notes either. Does anybody got it?
Ventus Mac.
Ventus Mac comes stumping up to you. He walks right past you and leans over the rail and looks down to where just Murph is roping up the body of Hakon. He slowly straightens and turns and looks at you, but doesn't say anything, his head slightly cocked.
There was an ambush. We went to go investigate further upon what was going on, but we have the inn fortified. You should load up, help us defend, so we can figure this out.
Think you're gonna need to talk to the captain about that, he says.
Well, you fucking asked me what's going on, didn't you?
Didn't.
Well, I'm drunk. Move on. I'm dying here on the ground. Do you see me?
I see you, all right. He turns and he spits over the edge of the boat. It does not hit Hakon or that. It goes clearly out into the water.
I look at Sergeant Mac and from earlier, and just nod and just sullenly say, "Evening."
Boy, Captain will be out in a minute. He turns and stumps back to the railing and calls over a couple of deckhands to help bring up the body of Hakon. The captain comes out of the cabin a couple minutes later. She appears to be in I don't want to say an evening dress because that's not her fucking style. She's still in completely utilitarian clothes, but she has a robe on over it, and then her actual oilcloth coat on over that. It's kind of
gown? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, but not actually a dressing gown. That suggests that she's way too fucking comfortable with this, and she's actually very much aware of the fact that
it's just a heavy.
She's the only vessel in an abandoned bay, surrounded by Lord knows what's. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm just getting my mental image going, thank you.
But it's they're more for comfort than anything else, you know what I mean? She still has shirt and pants on underneath it. But they're just comfier looking, you know?
Yeah, I got something in my head. Thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll roll with that. She kind of walks halfway to you guys and is standing about midship. Just
I meet up halfway and, evening, Captain, and we come with news. Hardly any of it is good.
Oh, one of those nights, huh? She looks over towards Cicatrix and then looks at the somber action on at the ship's railing and kind of waves you both with her and turns and walks back towards her cabin.
Me and the captain kind of get along though, right? It's the one dude with the stump I don't go on.
Every time you show up, you've been casually inebriated, actually. Yeah. So maybe you think that you get along with them.
Okay, cool. I'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys follow the captain back into the cabin, I assume. Mm-hmm. Safe assumption. She moves to a little table. It's small cabin, maybe like 20 by 20 feet. Space is always at a premium on a ship like this, and it is like chock-a-block with all sorts of different stuff. There's like 3 different desks in the place. There's a large map table in the center of the room, and where you may expect that she would have like a large like living quarters, she actually has like a little like a bunk bed, but it doesn't have additional layers to it. Like it's the same goddamn bed that you guys essentially slept on the way here. There's the same chest of drawers and like a bag that's at the end of her bed. She does not have any more fancy accommodations than anyone else who made the long voyage here. She moves. I'm sorry, Logi.
Is there an open seat, like a chair?
There is no chairs at the table. It is a like taller than average table, so like maybe like belly button, mid chest height. And there is a number of maps of like the ocean like laid out on it.
Forearm kind of leaning.
Yes. There is like cup holders sunk into the side of it, and a number of large metal pins are stuck here and there just to keep things from moving. She picks up a dark red bottle and pours 3 cups and kind of places them in front of you, and then moves to the other side of the table and says, "All right, tell me what you can."
Loki thanks the captain for the drink and takes a sip.
We'll call it like 1 a.m., by the way.
1 a.m. Okay.
Cicatrix takes a sip. Says, "Well, Cap, it's not good. We lost him. We lost him in the battle. We were going to check some information out to come back. And we have the inn fortified. We dealt with an ambush there, it's clear. The slavers, they've taken everybody in the town. And all we've found is nothing but good lizard people and something of fish people, and they are not good and acquainted with each other. But the humans, they've been taken as slaves."
Her eyes have just gotten wider and wider as you have laid all of this on her, and she looks kind of confused as well. Like that's a fuck ton of information you just dropped on her, and she looks over at Logi, like one eye slightly twitching, as if, and not in annoyance at all with Cicatrix, just like information overload
is his
kind of
wasted
thing.
Ass, like lying to me?
No, like information overload, like it's almost too much, and like you gave her some hard bullet points, but not a lot of like followable narrative. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's dead, but not who he is necessarily. She didn't see him take on being lifted over. No. It's a safe assumption. We've fortified an inn. I don't think she knows anything about what inn that might be, nor does it necessarily matter.
I don't think that matters.
People are being taken. Like the citizens are being taken. I think you said humans, but we'll just go with citizens because it was all sorts. Don't necessarily need to be important there. The high points are hit. Again, she's just overwhelmed by like the huge amount of information that you've just fucking hit her with. And she looks over at Logi.
And Logi, almost with a jaw drop look on his face. Let me fill in some of those details. Shortly after fortifying the tavern, when we were aiming to rest, during that, about like 2 hours later, Murph was hearing noises at the front door of the tavern. This guy wanted a drink, saying that he was a merchant, and saying that it was relatively normal for someone to go to a tavern at night. We agreed to give him a drink.
Nods a little bit.
I'm sorry?
She kind of nods a little bit as if to say, like, that's reasonable.
When he came in, he was, from our point of view, he started off polite seemed very intelligent. I'd say middle-aged, about 6 foot. He did tell us his name is Warren. He is with the Santa Sam Consortium.
She like looks at you and like holds up a hand and reaches over and grabs a parchment pen and like looks up at you and nods. She's taking those.
Does that name...
Sam Consortium. Her eyes narrow slightly, as if she's like trying to chase down a memory. Someone who's bored. Roll a 1d100.
Me, I'll do it.
Yeah, do it. Roll it publicly.
Yeah, let's see your public 1D.
90 plus. She remembers.
Is it? Oh, shit, I remember.
She shakes her head, says, "No, I'm sorry. I don't. Continue."
It was a shot in the dark anyway. Shortly after some of our inquiries about him, his demeanor did begin to change, opening up with he is quite angry with the fact that his compatriots were killed, as well as his trained dogs when we first docked in.
She
What trained?
What? She cocks her head and asks, "What compatriots? What dogs?"
Yeah, tell them.
I don't think you guys told her about that the last time you were here, did you?
I believe so, that we came back to the ship and we mentioned about that.
Yeah, about the
Oh, okay. She says he was friends with them.
Perhaps, or at least in his pocket, so to speak. He
That
said
doesn't bode well.
So far nothing is boding well.
Whose body is that out there, Logi?
That would be Hakon. He
She immediately looks crestfallen. Oh, he was so kind. He was a doctor, did you know, and a chef. He worked with paraplegic children and dogs. Back in Mitral. Genuinely the best of us.
Logi gives a half-hearted but genuine grin, saying that his food was something. Anyway, with him being, he said his compatriots. I would like to say they are the Inateki. That they're not quite forgiving and negotiable as he is.
Inateki. She like sounds the word out, like makes kind of like an ew face, like as if the word tastes bad.
Fucking lizard people, I tell you.
Okay, so a man came into the bar, asked for a drink. You've had a conversation with him, and then he lost his temper. Told you that you'd killed his friends outside, that they'd taken most of the citizens as slaves, and that he had a job for you.
The job... Oh, sorry, Captain.
No. Please continue. Like, she's like holding the bridge of her nose now. Like what the fuck?
He said if they didn't help us anyway.
He mentioned that he was looking for something. When I inquired that if it was also someone and something, he said a little bit of both.
Oh, wonderful.
Didn't go into much detail, besides saying that he believes that the something is here in present time, but he still hasn't found it, and he has left out a lot of details unless we agreed to help him. and it would seem that nothing good would come of it if we did not. That would be bad for the people on this ship and the rest of the citizens that he has from the city.
Well, he sounds like a right cunt. Did you agree?
A little bit, yeah.
Yes.
She seems to like deflate a little bit, and like the fingers pinching her nose like move to like just press against her forehead. She's like, okay, this is absolutely horrible. What does all this entail, Logi? Do we know?
Like from what we plan to do?
Did anybody tell her what I'm doing right now?
No.
Jesus.
Nobody told her.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna go back to eating my beef jerky and quiet then.
Well, there is a bit more.
Oh God, there's more.
Yes.
Give it. Okay.
Logi.
Give it to me.
If we were to agree to help him and succeed, that is really big, that he would convince the people that he is with to leave us alone and to do whatever remains left of the city, although the people from the city he is keeping. He said there was not up for debate. He is contractually obligated to do so.
She looks at you, like, kind of leans forward, and like her head drops and her eyes narrow, and like she's trying to look through you almost, and she like the hand that she was rubbing her head with like reaches out and just like shakes in like a and the scene fades to black, and we jump to Midan watching Cicatrix and Just Murph and Logi row Hakon back to the Tormeo. It is 12:30, hopefully for the last time. Midan.
Oh, I'm gonna wait in a bush for 2.5 hours till my meeting.
Okay.
Can I?
At where you're at, you're gonna get closer to the actual place. Like,
I
have an issue with that, but like, are you waiting in a bush at the bridge?
No, I'm not gonna. Actually, let me. Yeah. You know, I forget how specific this is sometimes.
It's okay. It has to be.
I'm going to.
I understand the intent, but we do have to keep it.
I am going to creep up to the outskirts so that I can see the windmill, I guess, and know when the meeting is. I don't know if I have a device for keeping time, but I imagine my cycle of the moon is quite well.
Okay.
Is that a fucking skeleton?
There's a lot going on here, so we're gonna get into it. First off, I want a stealth roll.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to fucking. Yeah, hang on. I gotta get my shit back open. All right. Yeah, no problem, Chief. Not good. Are those poor peasant farmers over there?
Yeah, I just want to look at all this before I lay it out here. Okay. All right, you're okay. It is dark. This is an important thing to remember here.
Was that a successful stealth roll?
I can't speak to that one way or another.
You said I'm okay.
No, I said okay. Thank you for
okay.
stealth.
Okay, they said
and then okay is in like I'm going to describe the scene here real fast, but I'm catching up on what's going on the log in the right. Claire, what did you mean by the written scene in chat? Claire, are you dead?
Sorry, I'm
Cool.
right here. That was when you were trying to remember what Logi had conveyed to the captain when they visited. Because he said something about the dogs, and you were like, I don't think she knows anything about that. And I was like, no, it was a written scene.
Okay.
And then I just copied the text over just as a little bit, just the source, citing the source. That he was very forthright with on the first visit, as Straniu and Sister Thickness were fortifying the tavern, and they went to visit. He told her everything.
Okay. So
just
she
a
was
reminder and a proof. Yep.
So she now the captain now knows that this Orn guy who Midan's at a meeting with, which we're doing the cutscene for, essentially, is the slaver, was behind those guys. The people were taken away. Some people were taken away. Like, give me the bullet points real fast of what we role played there. Like, what the main points that you guys would have liked to have communicated.
I believe Tommy and Eric went to go to the boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I stayed there to help Bill with Straniu and Tim and all them.
Yeah, okay.
Or sat by the door and watched.
The only bullet point, even though the scene's done, is just the last point of like the meeting, like at noon, and then the switch up with the old mill.
Okay. So now we are going to jump to the old mill. The captain is now caught up on what you guys know. We've left that discussion there, which is like her being frustrated and basically moving on to clarify all of the things that you guys have just told her, right? And as that's happening, we're over here at the mill. Midan leaves the bridge ambush, like kind of standing there for a moment on the cold shore, watching you guys pull away in the boat, and like, I think my headcanon for Midan is that he just like, there's like the smallest shake of his head. And he turns,
for me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay.
And he
that.
turns and he slinks off into the darkness, following the edge of the river north towards the old mill, which looms high above even in the darkness. It's quite easy to see. Midan has, as a dark elf, not something that I think he's prone to sharing, despite the fact that it would be obvious. I think he keeps himself quite well covered. Has pretty solid dark vision. And as he approaches this mill from a distance, sees a couple of things as he kind of hunkers lower into a pumpkin patch and peers out onto the mill. We're going to call it around like 12:45 at this point. We're going to do a little time skippage here as you wait, I think. We're not going to get into it. This mill stands maybe 3-4 stories high. The veins of the mill are cracked and torn and aren't really turning anymore, just giving out an old creak. There is a small house attached to it with a red tile roof that is similarly going to disrepair. Sitting out front of the little house, very clearly and openly in this yard, is Orn, the representative of the Santa Sam Consortium. He has a large desk, like an almost opulently, completely oversized desk, sitting in the middle of the yard at 1 o'clock in the morning. He's sitting at it. His booted feet are up on it. He has a glass in one hand. Standing behind him are two rather hulking skeletons. One of these skeletons is holding a chest. It's open. It's not huge. It's like a traveling chest. It appears to be filled with various papers and things like that. It is standing very casually and still right behind Orn. On the other shoulder is another skeleton of almost completely matching set, these two. He is holding a lit metal or iron brazier. This open flame just throws terrifying shadows onto his face and against the wall behind it. Both skeletons stand stock still as Orn drinks and seems to casually read at the table. In this yard are several large cages, like tiger cages you would see at the circus, and gathered into these cages, sitting at the floor and like kind of all huddled together in the center, are a pretty solid representation of children and women and the old and the infirm. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yeah.
There's no men here. No hale-hardy men, like of your own age. No war-aged men.
I think I know what's going on.
Here on the left is a single skeleton. This one is not as beefy as the other two. Taller. I don't want to say slim because it's a fucking skeleton, but like the armor it's wearing is not nearly as significant as the other two, which are like, it's almost like they have just slabs of fucking metal hanging off of them. This one has a wicked saber in one hand and actually seems to be carrying like a battered old shield in the other. It seems it's fused to the creature's arm, though its hand is free. And as you watch, the more nimble skeleton walks towards one of these cages and opens the door. Everyone inside cringes back, and the skeleton steps in and grabs one woman, seemingly at random, by the wrist, and drags her out of the cage and slams it again. You don't see it put any kind of lock on the cage, but the door, like, it doesn't bounce. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it closes and it's closed.
There's some kind of a trigger mechanism holding it shut.
The fair assumption. The skeleton holding the wrist of the woman in its bony grasp starts dragging her towards the table where Orn sits.
Is the purple thing the table?
The purple thing is the table.
Okay, got it. I was wrong. Okay.
The gray boxes, I think, are pretty obvious. Those are different cages with people in them. The number of citizen tokens that are in them are not necessarily representative of the numbers that are in them. There's a minimum of 5 citizens in each one of those cages, and probably closer to 12. Wait a second. Man. So there seems to be about 26 people together crammed into these fucking 4 different cages. The conditions are obviously inhumane. The people inside do not look healthy. This is the scene you see. This skeleton is dragging a woman towards the table that Orn is sitting at. Do you do anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where you guys are going to start to see a little more of Midian's true character. I'm not really myself all the time. So basically, you said that I was kind of tucked into a pumpkin patch. That's fine. I don't want to stealth any of this, though. So I know you had me stealth over here and do a stealth check, but I wasn't going to. I was just going to hang out in the bushes and wait from lizard men and other shit out there. But as far as Orn's concerned,
it's more of an idea to see how much of the actual thing that you saw more than anything else.
Okay. So anyways, I am going to just casually stroll up to Orn and as if
hear you. Yep, I see you bottom right.
Yep, as if
can't hear you, though.
You can't hear me?
Anybody else here?
Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah.
Paul, you can't hear me?
I can hear
you. I think I inadvertently turned the volume on my headset all the way down.
Okay. Okay, good, because I'm
just on mute because I've been snacking.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
I muted myself because
no, you can do that again. That's better for everybody. What did you catch that I said? Sorry.
Not much of anything, actually. That you were not going to stealth past this, and I said it's cool. That was more just for the initial explanation of what you saw.
Where I assumed. So basically, I'm just going to casually stroll up to Orn. The whole point of me hanging out was just making sure that I saw him. The meeting was at 4, so I wanted to wait for him to show up. So had I known he was going to be there earlier, I would have done this earlier. But scenes and whatever, it doesn't make any difference. So yeah, I'm assuming it is now just about 4 on the dot. We skipped time, right? I'm judging.
No, this was when you got there.
Oh, this is when I got there?
Yeah.
Oh.
So 12:45 1. That does not necessarily change how you're going about this.
Okay, that's fine. All right, cool. I got something. All right, so I'm going to literally just casually walk up to Orn, and if I do that right now, I don't know if he addresses me or says anything.
He kind of turns his head to see you, and kind of gives you like a half smile, like in the crinkled eye, like, huh, I don't hate it, and like takes a drink, but doesn't say anything. His boots are still up, like he's chilling. He's sitting at the table.
I figured as much.
He watches you walk forward. He seems completely at ease.
Okay. All right. Cue scene. Evening, Orn. Evening, Orn. I got your signal back at the bar there.
Cocks an eyebrow.
Fashionably.
Might have just turned my own fucking mic down again.
No.
Yeah, I think I might have, yeah.
You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so I say evening, Orn. So I got your signal. And I like to be fashionably early and, scope the scene out. What is it you want to talk about?
He kicks his boots down and he kind of sits normally, puts one elbow on the table and says, fashionably early is kind of an understatement, I think. I have work for you. Someone who recognizes proper communication channels, is morally gray. He stretches it out, kind of looking around at the cages and the people in them, and then kind of over one shoulder, one of the skeletons, and then back to you.
I could care less about the denizens of this village or any others as far as my ass is concerned. I'm here to discuss business.
Encouraging, he says. He turns over one shoulder and reaches into the chest that one of the skeletons is holding and pulls out another goblet that looks just like his own. It is glass, which is worthy of note. He reaches forward and fills it from a wine bottle that's sitting openly on the table, and like puts it like within his own reach. Like he's not going out of his way to hand it to you. Like he just kind of scoots it closer across the table. And then he looks over his left shoulder and, like, in a weirdly jaunty, high-pitched whistle, like, waves two of his fingers around, and the other skeleton holding the brazier sets it down and turns and walks into the house. And he turns and looks back at you. Says, I like an eager person. What's your name?
I go by Midan.
Midan, he says it like a couple of times differently, like tasting the name again. Like people here have a weird tendency to do that, you seem to note. He sniffs, he takes a sip of wine, and he spits off to the left. Not necessarily like a disrespectful one, more like a little squirt more than anything else. Almost as if it's like a weird ritualized greeting. You would get that impression, I think.
Okay.
I have a few things that need done, Midian, and I need someone quiet and capable to do them. My time in this city grows short, and frankly, I would like out of it. So the faster you get this done for me, the more money that you make. Can you be trusted, Midian?
I suppose anybody can't be trusted in these times, but I will offer you this tidbit of information. I heard you speak ill of Mitral earlier, and I, as well, being a half-elf myself, we are the lowest of the low as far as they're concerned. I hold no allegiance to anyone over there. We are on a simple expedition out here to hopefully carve a new life for ourselves or discover any new lands or any possibilities of fortune. So I'm here for that reason. If you offer some sort of gold, my whole entire vice was to make sure that our pockets get lined if we do some work for you.
He kind of, his eyes widen. Yeah, you know what? Give me an insight check. Fucking use the skills that are part of this fucking stupid edition.
I have 0 insight. I have no insight.
His eyes widen slightly as you speak, but you're not quite certain as to why. The skeleton he sent inside comes back out, carrying a chair, which it like drops. I don't mean like a fuck you kind of drop. Like I mean like it's a skeleton and it's not going to take the time to put a chair down carefully. You know what I mean? So it like falls over on its side and you got to pick that shit up yourself.
Yeah, got it.
Orin just kind of watches.
Okay, all right. So I look at the skeleton, unfazed, emboldened in my courage, grab the chair, pick it up, bring it to the edge of the table right here, slightly dust it off, have a seat, and then I pick up the goblet that he had poured. Or did he pour that for himself or for me?
He poured it for you.
Okay.
He has one.
Right, and I swirl it around, take a sniff of it like a fancy individual, and then I take a sip, lean to my left a little bit, spit a little bit out, and then gulp it down.
He nods and then chuckles as you like melt it.
Mimic it.
All right, so you said a couple of things just now. Midian, let me assure you, here in this wonderful place of arms, race means nothing. Power is everything, and how you acquire it requires a certain degree of flexibility. It seems as if you might have that. I am no fan of Mitral. I am no fan of anything, shall we say. So he like waves the hand in the air, like kind of thinking, established as that. They failed here, and they'll fail there, and they'll fail here again. What we see here, and he like kind of turns and gestures onto like the darkened city that's behind the mill, is nothing but example of that. An example I feel that you have heeded well. If it's gold you're after, that's something that is easy for me to facilitate for you. However, trust is something that can be guaranteed. We have the ways. Do you have the commitment, Midian? He takes a drink, looks at you.
As I said before, Orn, I am here for solely to make a new life for myself. It is not a question of morals or where my compass is aligned. If what you are offering is fair work and an ability for me to put some coin in my pocket, I am absolutely able to be trusted.
Would you put your flesh on the line for that, Midian?
I would most certainly put my flesh on the line for that.
He reaches out to his left where the burning brazier was and withdraws a long, thin piece of metal from it. It appears to be a brand. He stands up and gestures at the table as if, show me.
Wait, does he want me to put my arm up there, my leg, my neck?
Arm would be fine.
Arm is fine? Okay, I'm fine with that. All right, so I'm just going to roll my sleeve up and never break eye contact with him and place my arm on the table. Fist.
He grins at you like a fucking wolf and leans forward and places this brand against the inside of your forearm, midway through.
I do everything I can to show no emotion from the pain.
Give me a Constitution check, like a Constitution saving throw, I think, on that.
I click Constitution button.
I would also take Will.
Willpower? Where are these? Willpower.
Hold on a second. Let me pull up your sheet here real fast.
Am I doing saving throws?
Saving throws. Yep. Middle left. Neither one of those is good for you, honestly. So your Constitution's a little bit better.
Middle left.
Just to the right of your main attributes at the top.
Saving. Why am I not seeing these? Am I blind here? Just to the left of my name.
Okay, you see inspiration, proficiency bonus, like just under character name, top left. Dude, did I fucking...
Character name. I see inspiration, proficiency bonus. Okay, I got wisdom,
saving
constitution.
Just below that. Constitution's your best bet here.
I don't have a will. I have a wisdom.
Wisdom would, yeah, that would be
okay.
That would be will. Constitution's better for you.
Yeah, Constitution's better for me.
Do you want to do it?
I don't. Is that good or bad?
That's real bad.
Is it out of? So it's out of 20.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You squeal.
Yeah.
Like a little piggy. Honestly.
Can I not squeal like a little piggy? Can I be like, whoa! Was not expecting that.
Oh my God,
yeah. Yeah. I don't know if Midian would so much be like, wee. I would be more like a yahoo! Wow! Like I break all stealth. Yeah.
Is consistent throughout. He is enjoying the fuck out of himself here. let me find an image here real fast of what you just had burned into your fucking arm. Okay. I'm gonna have to fucking crop that motherfucker a little bit. Add an image. Give me just a second here. This is worth the wait.
Can't wait.
JPEG. We're gonna drop this over into. I have a disgusting amount of D&D shit on my fucking computer at this point, and it's difficult to fucking get through a lot of it. Okie dokie. So as this is fucking burning on your flesh, he grins and says, "So," and like he pulls it away.
Oh yeah, it's
kind of like a crop version without the a perfect circle logo in the center. That's what we're looking at there.
I love it. Dope tattoo.
He pulls the brand away and reaches and grabs the wine bottle and pours it over your arm.
Do I need to do
And
another
then
Constitution save?
He sits back finally in his chair and he looks like he just came. Like he just had the best fucking time. He's like, wonderful. Nothing like the smell of singed flesh on a beautiful evening.
I'd like it more if it wasn't my flesh, Oren.
I can see how you would feel that way, Midan, but it was wonderful for me.
So where do we go from here? And what
well,
exactly was this that you just put on my arm?
That is what I like to think of as insurance, Midan. I can now find you.
Perfect.
Yes, for me, certainly. I have some work for you to do, and what this means for me is that I can almost finally leave this accursed fucking place. And he seems almost as satisfied by that as the fact that he just got the fucking brand you're on. I need a few things, Midan, and now you will get those things for me. Would you like to know what they are? He takes a drink. He offers you the bottle.
I take a big swig out of the bottle, and I, again, spit a little out, and then... No, actually, I'm not going to do that, because I feel like that was more of a greeting. I gulp it down, and I say to him, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. I love eagerness. I really do, Midan. So, I need to find a person, to go to a place, and to bring me a thing.
And I'm assuming I'm that person.
No. The person that I need you to find out about. You remember that, won't you? Because I don't like to repeat myself, Midan. The other thing that wonderful brand lets me do is a little bit of discipline, should I find it necessary. You understand?
Loud and clear.
Wonderful. The person I need you to find is called Nalathava. Nalathava.
Nalathava?
Yes. Once beloved of the Inateki, she has found herself exiled, and in that time has come across a wonderful piece of magic that I would really quite like for myself. Any information you can find on this individual would be quite well valued by me. That's who I need you to find out about.
And you're certain she's here in these lands?
No, she's here in Kinvara. In these lands being this shithole city? I don't think so, no.
Okay.
But the place that I need you to go may contain those answers.
And that is?
He kind of like turns in his chair and like gestures over his shoulder, like west towards the, almost towards the Bronze Nilbog, or like that direction, right? He says, there's a plateau there, I'm sure you've noticed. Big fuck-off rock, right? On that plateau, there's a man in a home. That man happens to be the legate of this shithole city, and that home happens to be his manse. I need you to go into that manse. And I need you to either bring me the man or bring me his journals. I don't particularly care. He can be alive, he can be dead, he can be ahead. I'm not worried, Midian. I'm a very flexible employer, you see? And he's like kind of speaking with his hands now. He's getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions regarding that, my dear Midian?
Do you have a name for the legate?
Oh, shit. Certainly, I'm sure fucking Paul's stoned ass has a name here somewhere. Hold on a second. He kind of leans forward and he starts flicking through a like red leather notebook. Has a little sticker of a lion and an astronaut suit on it. It's like, yes, there's Unabomber handwriting, I swear to God, he says, breaking the fourth wall.
Little chicken scratch here.
Yes, I'll get back to you on that name, I think. He's the legate. Everybody knows him. Waves it away dismissively.
Does he have any guards?
Oh, certainly, yes. Tough nut to crack, as it turns out. The Inateki have been up there for the last month trying to get through. But I'm afraid that there's a number of those dastardly bridge burner boys up there, and they've made it quite difficult for us.
Dastardly bridge murder boys, I'm assuming you mean the lizards.
Bridge burner.
Bridge burner. Oh, bridge burner. Oh.
The lizards are of the Inateki, unfortunately. Smelly things.
The bridge burners, are they the ones that make the ale here?
Ah, yes, the whiskey folk. Quite good, actually. Hate to say it.
Hmm. Would it be safe to say there's a lot of liquor up there?
I could not speak to that. I don't think that the legate was much of a drinker, but there is a number of nice houses up there, so I'm sure there's something there. No, these fuckers are mercenaries. Dirty bastards. They fight hard, too.
But they're no friends of yours, correct?
Oh, certainly not.
Do they know of your existence here?
They have been in the past, I suppose. They do know of us. They work for money, Midian, much like yourself. They have a decidedly morally gray temperament, but their current captain finds it distasteful to work with us these days. Unfortunate as that may be.
So you wouldn't mind if I deploy some subterfuge without being disciplined for my tattoo, correct?
Oh Lord, no, kill them all. Fine with me.
Right. I mean that in regards of the fact that if I talk ill of you, you know that I do not mean it, correct?
I like to think of myself as a realistic man, Midian. You can hate me all you want, but if you try to kill me, I will make the entirety of your existence absolutely atrocious. And when I'm done with that, I'll hand you on to something even worse than me for fun.
I don't hate you, Orin.
Try if you'd like.
I don't hate you, Orin. I quite admire your character.
You could hate me if you want. Admire me, and we can go far together. The last thing he says, he doesn't want to talk touchy-feely bullshit with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we kiss now? Or
There's a book. This one, Midian, he leans forward and holds up a finger across the table. This one's personal. This one, I want. This book has answers. It's called The Tempest Tenebrae, and it comes across as a series of almost children's stories. When you read it, that's all you need to know. You find that book, you bring it to me, and you and me, he kind of does the finger back and forth, you and me are golden.
Just the book and we're golden, or the book and the legate?
Well, separate things, my friend, separate things. 3 tasks here. I want information on the first, I want physicality or records from the second, and I want the book for the third.
Understood.
Now, there's a meeting tomorrow. I won't be there. I'm going to leave. I'm going to pack up these lovelies, and he gestures at the cages around him, and in the morning, I'll be gone. I trust you to handle these things. You can find me west of here. Follow the coast. There's a fort. If you miss it, we will not continue working together.
Wait, which way along the coast did he say?
West.
West along the coast. Fort, got it.
Come with my errands completed. Any of them, honestly, I'll take progress. Now, the meeting tomorrow. I won't be there. You understand?
I do.
Good. I think our business here is done, Midian. He taps the table. 3 times like you saw him do in the bar.
Could I ask a couple more questions before I depart?
I think I could tolerate a few. He refills his wine glass.
Some questions that I had concern for were, you said you work for the Santa Sam Consortium. Who exactly is all involved in this? Is it just you? And obviously it being a consortium, I assume there are others. Are they here and present as well?
Roll perception or insight. Or
I guess would that be investigation or persuasion?
Yeah. I'll take one of those. Persuasion, I feel, is more accurate to the.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. Jeez, I'm fucking batting 1,000 today.
He grins, and it's kind of a disturbing smile, but he offers no verbal response.
Okay. I didn't mean to strike a chord. The other question I had is, how do the Inateki mix into this whole thing?
He inhales and kind of looks up at the sky, like as if the question pains him. The Inateki are a contract and nothing more. We work with them sometimes to further particular ends, and this is merely the means. What we are doing here. What they continue to do in the city is none of my business. What you see surrounding me is, and what I do with them is, what I do that for, or whom I do that for, rather, is also my business. Suffice to say, the goals of the Inateki and the Samasam Consortium happen to dovetail in the sacking of Ebentide. Nothing more.
Understanding what you say, I give a nod, and basically I say, my question for you was not to climb the corporate ladder, if you will. It was more or less, will the Inateki view me as a non-threat? Do I have safe passage through them? Can I use them if I need them? Are they around?
Almost certainly not, no. They will tear you limb from limb if they see you and think it's doable.
Perfect. Good to know. All right. So then I guess before I leave on this note, I will say that I will do my best to convince the others. A couple of them, most of them are very morally aligned in a way that wouldn't quite meld with our views. The ranger, I can speak, is a degenerate piece of shit. He will more than certainly join me on this adventure. The others will take some convincing. So I will have to come up with some kind of a story to tell them. But as far as that, we have lost one of our party members on the way in, and I was wondering, might I take one of your guards or a couple to escort me back to the shore?
He barks a laugh. If you can't manage to get through the night on your own, then we don't have any business working together, idiot.
I could. It's just unsafe lands, and I figured they knew the roads. I'll figure it out. I kind of...
Kimbara is safe, idiot.
I turn around and look to the trees and go, kind of remember which way I came from, so, yeah.
He actually genuinely laughs as you walk away. And we will call that scene done as well. Any clarifications required there?
Was that directed towards Claire, or...
I mean,
Claire is horrified and hates all of
you. Have no idea what happened. Remember this.
No metagame bullshit.
None of you know what was spoken here.
Unfortunate as that is, certainly. Okay, so what's everybody's actual plan here? Like those cutscenes are all done, and we're kind of back out in the open.
I think we were all going to meet back at after we went to the boat. We were going back to the place where Claire's at, to the tavern, and then he was going to come back. And
I need a rowboat. The whole point was for you to come get fucking fixed up, and then come back and help me get back to shore. I don't have a boat.
I gotta get fixed up. Yeah, we gotta go pick him up.
I mean, a little bit of time has passed. Is it safe to assume they could have healed him a little bit? Who just left?
Danny did.
Oh, okay.
Lydia? Is everything okay?
Can I? I'm gonna. Did we get off the rowboat and leave already, or are we just about to?
Oh, we're still kind of separated here. You guys are still at the boat.
No,
That's kind of
yeah,
why
I'm asking because
like,
if I'm at the boat, I want to see if there's someone there that can like heal me or fix me up a little better. You know what I mean? Or like get us fixed up.
fair enough. There is someone. As you guys leave the. Okay, first before that, was there anything you guys wanted from the captain? Just in general, like you were just there to report.
Oh,
right?
I want to ask a question about if she knows or has heard about the flower for the medicine for this little cutie Oregon lady.
So we know it's medicine?
I don't. Yeah, she said it was medicine.
Oh, okay.
The captain shakes her head. She says, "I'm sorry, I have no specialty in medicine or herbaceous. Unless they fucking 420, baby."
Wait, Tommy, do you have any herbalism? Can you not
loose.
roll to see if you know anything about that, possibly?
I'll take either, actually.
Which means he'll take both. What's up?
Not one or the other.
So it would either be nature.
Nature makes more sense to me.
History.
Or nature or medicine.
Nature, perception. I don't know. That would be it. It's either nature. Yeah, it's nature.
Call the spirits and have them just bring it to you.
Right.
Well, I think you know nothing about it, unfortunately.
You're not sure. You think that maybe if you do know, that it's probably called something different here, and perhaps you're just not familiar with. You're familiar with the herb, but not the name here.
What was it called? Waka Laka?
Waka?
No, what was it called? I'm being serious.
I know. So am I.
Oh, it's Waka
like
Waka.
After
Okay.
he asked the captain, would I be able to like also put in a nature check, just like as a side note to see if I remember anything now that the whole conversation between me and the captain is done. Like he's now like I could probably assist in this. Or
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Shit.
A little better. You have like a niggling in the back of your mind that maybe this is mentioned in your book, but it would take further study of the book to perhaps winkle out where you had read it.
I am so fascinated by this book.
I'll look into it when
I have a question.
Yep.
My journal closes. My character sheet closes every time I switch to the rolling.
Try and pop out your character sheet in the top left of the character sheet screen. You could like make it a separate window in your browser. You see what I mean, dude? Okay, and we wanted to get a little bit of heals if we could. Is that correct?
I was asking if I could get a heal from anybody on the ship.
I have to imagine there's a medic.
There is a medic, and as you guys are like coming out of the captain's quarters, you see that medic who's kind of like kneeled before or over Hakon, who they've pulled up onto the deck, and he's got him like pretty much put into like a sewn together sheet, and in one hand he's got needle and thread, and in the other hand he's got a pair of gold coins that you guys watch as he lays over the eyes of Hakon and begins to sew up the sheet as he is quietly chanting over the body. That is the guy you see. You guys have known him from the trip across these quiet, reserved individual named Trovar. Trovar ap Rokan. I think Logi might have talked to him a bit, despite the fact that he appears to be armed and armored now with what appears to be a wolf skin over his shoulders, despite the rather balmy weather. Is a bookish man. Logi, you know him as a cleric.
Okay.
The two of you have talked not horrifically extensively, but like like friendly for sure. He seems to do a lot of writing where you do a lot of reading.
That's mostly like we usually talk about is books and writing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And it seems that he's actually writing a travelogue himself. And he is oddly good at poetry. He's an older human man. He looks as he appears. When you asked him what happened to his eye, he merely laughed and didn't say anything. When asked about his god, he tells you that he is a follower of someone called Mulrin Rosh, who you've never heard of.
Oh, I don't think I ever named like that, did I?
As the two of you watch, he seems to finish the ceremony, sealing up Hakon, and his fingers, like, kind of interweave over the top of the body, and you see, like, a faint blue spread out from his hands and envelope the entirety of the body, and then seem to, like, absorb into the cloth. And he gives a long sigh and stands up and turns to look at you guys.
After taking a moment of paying like my last respects to Hakon, I look up at Trovar and nod and say evening.
Logi, so sad to see you under these conditions.
Yeah, these aren't good times.
Well, nothing good comes easy. Remember that. You boys look a bit knocked about.
Cicatrix just nods and says, "Yeah, it's been a rough one. Why would you touch me with them hands? A man with a good fur knows how to heal, I believe."
That's a really weird way to phrase that, Cicatrix.
Been at death's door one too many times today.
Well, I think I can help you guys, though I must say that what I can do for you is limited.
Anything, I am thankful.
He nods and steps towards the two of you in turn. And what languages do you guys have?
Russian, Igni, and Baran.
Okay.
So what languages I have?
Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, I think I have yours here too.
Oh, no, I just posted them in the chat.
Tommy, you actually recognize the language she's speaking as Hispanic, which is like kind of like a bastard orc. Like this is from your orcish ancestry. This language that he's speaking, this small little. It's almost like a Jesus Christ. What's the word I'm looking for here? Give me just a minute. Let me. I'm going to take a break here in a second. Yeah. Haiku. That's what I would say. He like recites like a small haiku over the both of you. Nope, that's not what I want. Ignore that one. We're gonna do Tommy first.
Can I say something as he's casting it?
You can. He heals you for 8 health.
Oh, I've heard that a time or two.
He like kind of cocks his head at you, like, oh, where'd you hear that? Logi 11.
The language of the orcs.
Ah, he nods. Yes, I imagine you have. Hopefully under better circumstances than these. It's kind of an inside joke, as there's never better circumstances than these for an orc.
Yeah, I get it.
He is not an orc. Let me make that clear.
No, I know. It's the language of the orc. And the only way I'm assuming he knows it is.
He says, now, I am not part of the expeditionary forces. Let me be clear, but I think that given the circumstances, Vermintide, all of us are part of the expeditionary forces now. I don't think we'll be able to return with you this evening, but I will begin putting together a party to take to the shore. There are a number of things that I think we need to do at this city, regardless of what the captain decides to do. I would get the ball rolling. Anything else you guys need?
I thank him for healing us and for taking care of Hakon.
He claps you on the shoulder.
11 I have.
Tommy, you're 8. Logi is 11.
Oh. No, I have 11 now because I had 3.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do there? And where are you going next?
Can I ask this guy if he knows anything about them flowers before I go anywhere?
Yeah, sure.
Cicatrix goes, before we leave, I've heard of this herb that I'm trying to locate. Have you heard of anything?
You gotta tell him what the herb is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I knew it. Because I didn't know it.
He shakes his head sadly.
It's like a waka?
I think that's
Owaka.
exactly it.
That's correct. He shakes his head sadly. I'm sorry. I've never heard of it.
Owaka?
Owaka.
Ayahuasca.
I'll walk it out.
Get booked up. All right, where are you guys going next?
We're gonna go back to hold on. We're going back to. Let me have a conversation with Logi real quick. Here, Mouse. We were supposed to go pick Mitch up at like R21 at the end of the fucking thing. On the little square. Because how's he gonna get back, right, with the rowboat? So
yeah.
We were supposed to go tell them what the fuck's going on, get healed up as much as possible, and come back and pick him up. Right?
Yeah. I would like to see if I can get someone like on board, not like any like a number of people, just like one other.
Down Murph.
Or maybe
Yeah,
go back and...
Murph is standing there at the railing.
Oh,
we got Murph, dude.
I mean, it's
Murph
totally feasible for you to go pick up Straniu, although I don't know if it's necessarily needed. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm not trying to interject.
I think.
Well, there would be enough time to.
I think we need to go.
Time's not an issue anymore. The time constraints that were for the meeting have been removed.
I think we should get Mitch that way we should get Midan so that we were all together when we go back to the thing.
Narratively, that makes sense and puts you all in one location.
At the same time, instead of having two separate conversations about it.
That's what I was getting at. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm going to be just like walking along the shore.
So we'll say they meet you
wherever, the way you choose.
Can I do a strength roll just to see how fast I roll?
No, I think I forgot that your strength is fucking good. Realistically, 8 hexes is to pick him up. So you can go 6 hexes normally, right through the middle of the bay. I'm cool with that. Okay,
we gotta do this. The scene.
Make it without a problem, so you can.
I would like to make it known that they keep asking me questions and I don't say anything the entire ride back.
I was not going to ask you anything.
Okay, that's fine. I just have this like solemn look on my face, like I'm in thought.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask shit.
Is your brand covered or no?
Oh, I rolled my sleeve right back up. Absolutely, good question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to say that all takes about half an hour to 40 minutes to do. So can we all agree that it's about 2 by the time all of you get back to the Bronze Nilbog?
Sounds feasible to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Stranu is out front, I assume, at this point, just boiling mad.
I don't know. It was 12:30, and I went outside to check to see what was going on, if there was anyone watching, and then we cut away.
Nothing has happened in that time.
Okay.
You do hear various things throughout the city. The dark city. It's clearly not unoccupied. There are clearly things happening here, but nothing seems to approach your little slice of the waterfront here as you stand watch. You do see their little rowboat cut through the night as they return a man short. Hakon obviously missing. It is 10:45. That was a lot of talking and stuff for me. I actually have to pee again. Would everybody like to take a quick break?
Yeah.
Is it just me?
No.
Yeah, you guys can go.
No,
take a
I can
break.
pee and smoke. I can
Okay.
bring my computer, but I think I'm the only one not on desktop, so.
No. Do a quick fiver back at 10:50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think about the conversation you guys are about to have. I think it's a fair assumption
Okay.
that you're all going into the Nilbog with the intention to quietly rest. It's been a hell of a night.
Look,
And I think that we can do that. So have consider that conversation, because I think that'll happen first, and then we will have a quiet night, and we'll pick up in the morning.
Just before we walk away, while I'm taking a few moments to think on this, am I correct in remembering that one of the two that I was left behind with in the tavern said that someone worked with a consortium?
I believe, yes, that
Yeah,
Henry
yeah.
the Kettle said that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
No. Okay. That justifies his anger in my head. Just that.
Well, you don't
that
know
alone.
anything about a consortium at all.
No, but I know what the word means.
Fair enough. All right, I'll be back.
I'm going pee and I'll return.
Hey, baby girl. It's that time. Real late. What? Okay, tell me a little poem.
Number 3, one Bojack, none for me.
You silly girl. Oh, I love you.
For me.
Alright, what do you need? You need me to set your bed up for you? Yeah, I'm gonna clean it up right. Yeah, I'm gonna close it all.
What's up, girly paps?
The wolf is not waking me up.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's already way past bedtime, but you know.
No, I didn't know. The kiddo tonight.
You call me in your bed?
Yeah, we can snuggle tonight when I go to bed, okay? No, not right now. When I go to bed, silly girl.
Oh,
Not too much longer. Probably like an hour. Okay. I love you. Yeah, about somewhere around there. Not even that long.
Jesus.
What?
Getting it anyway.
You did not get the sandy here. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you, my dear. Get ready for bed. Alright, here, give me a hug and a kiss. Put some coconut oil on your lips. What? Danny, how do I do this to me, man? Give me a kiss. Alright, put some coconut oil on, lay down. Bedtime. Let's go. Bedtime. See you. Here's this. Corner's real good. Lay down and go to bed, please. Please, thank you. Your blanket's in the right spot. You're good. Your lights up. I'll leave the door open a crack for you. Bathroom lights on. You got a drink. Yes, I'll make it for you right now. Bada bing, bada boom. Here you go, girl. Get your buns over here. Go. Yeah, I'm good. I love you. You're my favorite person. Mwah. I love you. And baby girl. I set up like a whole little thing in a room for her. From like drawing to coloring to fucking sand, Play-Doh with a whole bunch of little things.
Oh, a whole ass creativity station.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I cut up like pieces of paper for her, like a whole bunch of stuff, so that way she could be. Because I told her at 8 o'clock I was doing D&D. So I just like set her up with everything.
Hell yeah.
You're like, you don't have a choice.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on my AirPods. I just give me a chance to step out. But this is really more about the conversation you guys need to have and the direction you want to go in. I am done giving you like narrative info now, honestly. There's been a number of different little plots and things that have been seeded in there. There's shit going on with the consortium. There's shit going on with the Inateki. There's shit going on with the fish people. There's the fucking bird folk. There is the dude up on the plateau that you could go for. There is the rune person, Nalatava, that he wants to know about. And obviously most of this is curated by Mitch and will be a part of the conversation you guys are about to have. But like, I would encourage you to at least like obviously share the non-evil version of these things. Like there's some spin put on it, but like you guys should have a conversation about like what quests and what things that you actually want to follow up on. This is where things kind of open up. So,
and all Straniu got from the NPCs in the bar was that there was just like some guy that wanted a beer for some merchant of a consortium, and then everybody fucking disappeared.
We'll
we can assume that you picked their brains about the conversation that was had, right?
I was gonna say I do have like intimidation and shit, so I get scared out.
Right. But at the time that this was happening, like Midan knew damn well what he was about to go and do. He wouldn't have told you all of those details.
Yeah, I want to curate a lot of
that. You
that.
hadn't been there. Like, you might be able to put some of that stuff together now.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of this is going to be dependent upon what Midan is about to tell you.
On that note, Paul, can I sidebar with you real quick, just so that I can pick a better like course of action? Because I don't know exactly if I can do this, but I can drag you into just chatting real quick, I think, if you got a split second.
Yeah. Be back in a minute.
Okay.
So with my charlatan background, do I have a forgery kit?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not sure if I can. This is purely just for like narrative bonus, because I have another course of like action picked out if this isn't allowed. But can I try to forge his if it is? Because my suspicion is that it's Logi's book, and that is nothing that has been like told to me. I could be completely wrong. I'm gonna pull Grim aside and. Depending on how this goes, me and you have a course of dialogue with him. But could I potentially, if it is his book, could I forge it with a forger kit? Because it says I can forge documents to like damn near flawless like regard with my proficiency.
You could try. It would be a question of how long and how you've done the whole thing. Because it's a whole book, right?
That's fair.
So. I don't have an issue with that. That's exactly what it's for, but that's definitely more of a
that's fair
long-term project kind of thing. Like definitely not like we're talking maybe like 2 weeks of that's what you're doing.
Okay. I just want to see if that was a thing that I could do, because again, I don't
That's
even
exactly
know
how you do that.
Okay, I don't even know if that would work for him. Not saying that you are going to tell me, because if it fails, cool. It fails. Like if Midan dies because of it, fucking hilarious. But like that was an idea that crossed my mind. Like as far as like You get where I'm going with this, right? Like,
I do.
Okay.
Legit, totally how that works.
Okay.
No issue with it at all.
Because I was like thinking, like,
as you recognize, there may be extenuating circumstances. We cross that bridge when we come to it.
fair.
At the heart of the thing, yes, that's how you do that.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I can pull us back up then. Well, I'm trying to think if I have any other questions that I was gonna do, like narratively, if it'll fuck anything up. So basically, between me and you, like, I'm gonna pull Grim aside, and I'm going to like pull a dagger out and put it at his throat. Like, this is gonna be just me and him, and I'm gonna be like, you need to tell me, like, straight up, like, who are you and like what are you involved in, and like that book you're carrying around, like, tell me the name of it right fucking now, like. And then I'll fill him in on what's going on, if it is in fact because I'm assuming he knows the name of his book. If it isn't, I've got a whole nother way to figure that out. But I just want to like make sure with him, which I'm assuming is
just role play, like getting him separated from the group kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why, like, I was gonna do that at night, but I'm thinking, like, before anything else goes on, like, I'm going to like wake him up, like, and make him come outside with me, like, you know,
or just like hold him out before you guys all go into the tavern and talk about it now.
Yeah, and you had said, like, you're like, yeah, we'll just assume that, like, we rested and then we'll start off in the morning. I was like,
jump back,
okay, all right, cool.
Jump back and like we'll go.
All right, so that's what I was gonna do for that, and then another question I had too while I'm thinking about it is Signet of the False Duke. How does that work as well too? Like, I can like make a persona.
Similarly, you could use it for forged documentation. Like the legate guy that you heard about.
That's where I'm going. Yes.
Yeah, you could. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Because like I know how to play a rogue, and I'm like thinking with my charlatan background, like I fucking subterfuge this.
That's exactly how you go about
it. All right. I don't think anything. If I have any other questions, I'll text you. But I think that's it. All right. I'm putting us back in the group.
Copy.
Just
so nothing happened.
Continuous with the book.
Super neat.
Okay, so you guys are pulling back into the dock. Straniu sees you there. You guys are basically standing amid the corpses of the people that you have previously killed.
We haven't cleaned them up yet.
I mean, they told me that you have.
Okay, fair.
Nobody's come by and like magically cleared them up.
The flies would have started.
We were more focused on fortifying the tavern rather than cleaning up it.
Right. I do think that it was noted that the bodies inside were taken outside.
Okay, all right.
But the bodies that were outside are definitely outside. Now there's just a pile of them.
And more from the inside is now outside. Yeah, that's awesome. Great.
Yeah, Straniu's like picks the brains of the people that were present for the conversation and comes outside and is looking around at all these dead bodies, like, and you're telling me some dude just strolled up looking for a drink?
No, I think those were the. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got you.
Seriously?
To be fair, how it happened, you wouldn't have been able to really see if you were listening to it. It happened, I think, on Murph's watch, and the windows and the positions that the people who were on watch mattered for the things that happened outside.
Okay.
So, like, perception checks were taken into account here. So, like Murph just didn't do well on that one. So the dude was at the door.
Well, yeah, no, we were talking on. We said earlier, Straniu's just kind of like putting things together based on what people have said to him, and like gone outside and looked around and seen like all these dead bodies and like the remnants of like an icy dead dog, and it's like, you thought that it was.
So it's taking you some time to do this, and it's right around 2, and you're standing there having these thoughts, and these guys are pulling into the docks up front, and we'll pick up there. See you guys again.
Feeling very Molly Weasley, how dare you steal that boat?
Are you still standing on the porch of the Nildog?
Yeah, I think I'm just up front, just like the door.
Disappointed mom.
Gotcha. Okay, so if I could have a little bit of the floor here, I am going to gesture to Cicatrix to walk inside with everybody else, like, and I'm gonna like give him like a squinty eye nod, like, you know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, right? Is Tommy back?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I just know
Tommy, roll an insight just to see if you figure that out. We'll call it easy, like a 10. No, Tommy.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Perfect.
You understand the intent behind the nod.
Okay, so I'm gonna put my hand on Grim's shoulder as he starts to walk away, or Logi's shoulder, and kind of like root him in place so he stays by me with the boat. And then I'm gonna have everybody else once they enter the Nilbog, and I'm sure we're out of like sight of them. Then I'll start this. So assuming you guys all walk into the bar, if you guys don't want to do anything else, if you do,
Straniu's out front, waiting for everybody.
Murph kind of cocks his head, but is like kind of gently pushed forward by Cicatrix, and goes. He doesn't fight. He goes back.
So are we safe to assume everybody has walked into the bar?
No, I think Straniu is decidedly not inside the bar.
So Tommy, would you like to handle Straniu real fast with that nod that you understood when I like get over the fuck away?
Yeah, I need a drink. I was violated. Beat down. Look at this piece of skin I got. A little flappy, furry fob.
I don't think you actually got that, by the way.
No, I did.
When would you
No,
have
we
the
talked
opportunity?
about this at the end. I swear to it.
All right, I will give you the fin from the list.
Yeah.
He did cut the head off its head. I do remember that.
Yes, and we talked about this.
All right.
I look to Midan and Cicatrix and ask who has the traveling journal.
What are
I'm
you
interested.
referring to exactly with that?
Huh?
What are you referring to exactly?
Oh, we got it off one of the. You randomly rolled that as loot.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I have no details for that.
Yeah, that wasn't storied in Grim. That was pure randomized loot.
I forgot. No, I will come up with something.
Go into the bar?
Yeah, Logi was just interested in it, and long day.
Like who actually physically has this?
Yeah, I'd like to just not just flip through it. Like window shopping through a journal.
Tommy, to clarify my like nod to you, get these fuckers all inside.
Yeah,
I got something I gotta do.
It. That's why I said I need a drink. Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you about this.
Were you talking specifically to Straniu to pull them off the porch? I need privacy.
Yes.
Is what I was looking at.
Yes, that's what I was doing. Yes, that's why I said that.
Because I don't think Straniu's character would know, maybe I just was Grim was helping me with something. I understand why you would be suspicious of this right now because of everything that you know. But assuming that you don't know what I'm about to do or anything that happened with me as far as that, you wouldn't be standing on the porch going what the fuck is he doing?
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at. Is I'm trying to have a moment with Grim here. You're gonna hear it, but I'm trying to have a moment with him.
I was also as we have previously discussed wasn't played out, but Straniu did pick everybody's brain, and I would assume would be aware that Midan is the one that led the conversation. And Midan is the last to return, and is not particularly ready to come inside until everybody's here. Why would I not know that if I talked to the people that were behind? I was told that I thoroughly picked their brains.
Yeah, but I think what he's trying to say is I don't think you know everything that just happened to us, right?
No,
so,
I
can
see
where she has a. I could see
I know that
she
there
would have a
are
right.
still two that have not come outside. There are two that have yet to return, and I am on guard. Therefore, I am maintaining guard.
All right, got it.
But we just got back, and I don't know.
Not everyone has returned.
We just got back. Didn't tell anybody though. Anything yet? We just pulled up to the door. We're just walking in, so they don't have any insight on anything that has happened over there as of yet.
I don't know what has happened with you, which is why two people have not returned, which is why I am still outside.
I think what she's trying to say is that she is waiting for everybody to be in there, and that while you have said this, she's still essentially on guard because that's what she's been told. So, while you mentioned that essentially your persuasion attempt was, man, I'd like to have a drink and look at this thing, she's still standing guard.
What I'm saying is, Tommy, is can you say, hey, Straniu, can you come fucking help me with something or something along those lines to get her off the porch from being on guard? Not wave a fin in her face. Does that make you incited my nod?
If what he did was wave a fin in my face and say wanted to drink,
Didn't work, obviously. Carry on. I fucked it up. There you go.
You could
Didn't fuck it up at all.
You could still redeem it here.
Yep.
Would you like to role play it with the rest?
Hey, Straniu, come in. I need your opinion on this.
You ever seen something like this before? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Woo her here. Woo him. I mean, you know, like.
The effort.
Straniu, have you ever seen a fin like this? Do you know? I need a drink, and I need to have a talk about this. I got a question for you, and
there you go, champ.
It's a weird one. I'll give it to you. It's a weird one. I just don't know who to talk to about it.
What do you expect me to know about fins?
Oh, it's not about fins. It's about other things among fins, and I figure a paladin like yourself should know a thing or two along these lines.
Never spent much time by the ocean. I don't know much about nothing that lives by the sea.
It's about what I want to turn it into.
Do you do any like?
I'm kind of side-eyeing, and I don't know. There's part. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask for it, but can I ask Tom for a persuasion check?
Yes, but you then have to make an opposed insight check.
Okay. What does that mean?
So insight is a skill, as is persuasion, right?
Okay,
He's trying to persuade you to come inside. He's trying to distract you, and you are already suspicious for valid reasons. You know that they're returning from a meeting with someone who you quite rightfully suspect may be a slaver. So you have a good reason to be a little skeptical of this. So your insight is essentially corresponding to that skepticism, whereas his persuasion is exactly that, right?
Okay.
So it's just opposing rolls. So
is this a roll-off?
Whoever is higher, yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, Tom, let's go.
I would like to note while they roll this that Claire, none of this is ill intent towards you. Nope. He rolled perception.
Persuasion is what we need.
Oh yeah, persuasion check. Yeah.
Perception.
It's very similar, except it has an F.
Yeah.
So, Claire, how would you like to go about this?
I like to look at him like he's crazy, and I'm just gonna. I mean, Straniu is he's an old weathered general. He's gonna, he's got drunkard like flapping a flap of skin with a fin on it, and come talk to me about it. And I'm like, I'm from the mountains, and he just won't leave me alone, and I just like growl and just like
mad dog him a little bit.
Yeah, I just mad dog him a little bit and just hammer and maintain my post.
So your persuasion attempt has failed, leaving Straniu and Logi and Midan standing out front among the corpses of these suspected slavers.
Before I act on in character, I do have the travel journal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
you can. The random find one.
Yeah. I would assume if anybody would grab that, the bookworm would have grabbed that.
It would definitely.
Sorry. Or if anyone picked up a book, I hand it to him.
Like they were about to throw it out.
I am
kind of reached out and caught it. Like, no.
So curious what your obsession with this fucking travel journal is, though. You're like, where the fuck is this journal? I need to read.
I was also like,
why do you need to read this?
Put the weight on it, or just no weight for the travel?
I call it a pound.
Okay.
Great question. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah.
And with that, I look to Stranu and like awkwardly try to say, I'll explain this, like thinking that Stranu is like angry because there's one member that's missing.
I thought Logi was down at the dock. Or I thought he was down talking to.
Yeah, I've still got my.
That's we're kind of like theater of the mind here, so like.
Okay, to speed this along, about how far apart are we?
I mean, I would say that maybe 20 feet or something. So maybe.
So we end of the dock.
That's okay. Not accurate.
So 200 feet to say. The bar to the dock. We're on the dock. She's standing at the front porch of the bar, right?
I'm not trying to listen in on your conversation.
That's fair.
I'm just suspicious and know that you are not back, and I refuse to leave my post until everyone is in the tavern.
Got it. My whole
Wonderful clarification.
I'm not so concerned that you're going to listen. It's about what I'm about to do because your eyes can see farther than your ears can hear. That's my concern.
Oh, that's very
guys,
true.
so I went back
That's
to
my
like
concern.
the original map that we were using for that area, and it's about 40 feet, so she can see you.
That's what I'm assuming. Okay, but I'm obviously going to muffle my voice, right? So then I am going. So to speed this along, all right. So like I've rooted Grim in place. Everybody else aside from Straniu in the inn. Straniu standing on the porch. I'm at the end of the dock by the rowboat with Grim. I'm going to put my back to Straniu to shroud my activities. All right, and I'm going to lift up my little leather cloak thing that I have, and I'm going to pull a dagger out, and I'm going to put it into Grim's gut, okay, or Logi's gut, and I'm not going to stab him with it or anything. It's there as like a threat, okay? And Logi, I'm assuming, knows this, right? I don't know if we need to roll for this, but I'm looking at him, and with a muffled voice, I say, "Shut the fuck up. You have some questions to answer for me." And I don't know if you want to roleplay your other side of that.
I have no part in this.
I'm talking to you, Grim. Is there anything you want to say, or do I just ask my questions? Do you
no, I'm just looking at skills to see anything here.
Yeah, turning your back to me when you know I can see you, and
yeah, but you can't.
Totally less suspicious.
Claire, fuck off! Go be suspicious in the corner. Yeah, I fully expect you to.
I look at like I aim to intimidate Midan with him putting that was it a dagger to my side?
Yeah, like I'm gonna prison shank you if you don't answer my questions right now, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I aim to intimidate you to at least stop doing that. It's been a long day. I don't need another sharp object near me.
Should we both roll an intimidation here?
I
I didn't think he was going to try to counter-intimidate me. I'm literally trying to intimidate him right now. So I'm glad you did that, because this is great, but fuck you. I thought you were going to be a meek little bitch like you've been the entire fucking game, Grim. Fuck.
It's been a long day. He's been at death's door.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you are slowly changing as a person. That's fine. I can roleplay this any way you want, so that's if you want to do it this way, we can do it this way.
That's a good way of doing it.
All right. Great.
I don't think either one of you necessarily.
Before we roll,
I'm being mean towards you. It's just that
me
it's been
either.
a long day. It's not
and me either. But before we roll, I want to know how you intimidate me, because I have a dagger to your gut right now. Let's remind ourselves.
That's pretty much
just a hard
and you're wounded. Okay. All right. So you're hard staring me to a dagger in your gut. Okay. You want to roll first? Or you want me to?
As Logi was just saying, it's been a long and hard day. I almost died one too many times.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay.
Object,
so
at my gut.
So almost give it up stare,
patch up.
Okay, all right. So do you want to roll first, or do you want me to?
I got it.
God.
Strong.
Well. All right.
Wait. Let me step in here because this is. Oh shit, my kid just yelled. Fuck.
Danny.
No.
You guys.
No, this is a great way to introduce the Eldritch invocation that Eric took at level 2, which is Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Oh.
So as he stares at you, he seems to blink, and in the whites around his eyes, it looks like he has runes actually burned into them in a circle around the iris of his eye, and it makes you take a little bit of step back, and the point of your dagger wavers a little bit.
I was gonna say something and do something, but you're good.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I had every intent on hardballing this kid, and after he did that, it's like when you fuck with some random house you find in the woods and there's a doll upstairs and it all of a sudden talks to you. I'm gonna have that kind of fear, right? So I'm gonna be like, oh, whoa, right? So I'm gonna slowly put my dagger right back in my belt and just put both my hands on his shoulders and be like, hey pal, I just need to talk to you for a minute here. Wasn't gonna hurt you. And I look back at Straniu and give a with a half smile and just yeah, we're all good over here,
His now Logi's
Why did you have to counter intimidate me? You took all this steam out of my fucking engine, Chief. But anyways, funny. Okay, so I'm be like, all right, just whatever. So I got both hands on your shoulders, and I was like, nah, I wasn't. I hope you know it wasn't gonna hurt you. All right. But I have to ask you a serious question. What is your book, and you need to tell me right now because there's something abrew here, and I need information.
I'm not wavering. I'm looking for the actual name, if I have it.
You would know the name of it. It is. Hold on, real fast.
It's in the items, but I'm not entirely sure if that is the official name that we decided on.
The name of the book is. The Book of Logi is. The Tempest. There you go. In chat.
I would like you to know that I spelled that perfectly in my notes.
It's classic Latin.
Yeah.
It's a word that I've run across weirdly recently, but I can't remember where.
In For Honor, every time the Blackprior flips somebody, he goes Tenebris, and it's literally spelled exactly like that, but with an IS at the end. So, okay, you want to tell me what the name of the book is, or do you want to do something else? Or
oh, sorry, I was just looking up in Latin. I was just interested in the character.
Yeah.
It is Tempest Tenebra.
And so as soon as you utter those words, my eyes close and my head drops, and I let out like a big fuck. All right, and so and I'm like, we have a fucking problem, Logi.
That conversation, huh?
Yes.
I'm referring to the one with Warren.
Yes. He wants your book, Logi.
Bigger pile.
And I'm going to tell you this and none of the others, and you're going to shut your mouth about it. Got it?
I would imagine like Levistus probably saying the same thing because he is also.
Is he tied to that book?
If I remember correctly,
I know so.
That Levistus is like, yeah, you shut up.
Separate. Yes, Levistus is your warlock patron. The book was a gift from your warlock patron. Like, it is tied to the individual, but the individual is not tied to the thing. Does that make sense? Like, Levistus doesn't go away if the book goes away. But the book was a gift from Levistus, and there might be punishment.
Yeah. I would imagine Levistus would be saying, you might want to shut the hell up.
He's remained silent.
Okay. And okay, so I'm sorry, you continue.
So you, like, when you mean shut up, you mean just as in like
not tell anything to anybody else in the group
about
like what I'm about to say to you.
Error.
Right? Okay. And so basically, do you confirm this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut up.
Okay. And so I, again, breaking line of sight from Straniu, right? I beckon you to look down, right? Like, I look down, like, instinctively for you to look down as well, too. And I quickly roll my sleeve up and show you that symbol, right? And then I roll my sleeve right back down. I said, does that mean anything to you?
Before you like rolled it like back up, would it be alright to put would that be under like Arcana? To like,
yeah, I would accept that.
Just at like a glance, see if I pop something in my mind palace.
Yep. La Vista speaks up for perhaps the first time. It says, "Oh, we haven't seen that in a long time. The plot thickens." But he actually doesn't say anything else about it.
And I looked to Midian like a gift from Orn. I see.
Yes.
How'd you handle it?
I handled it like a champion, Logi. That's not the point here. Okay. Okay. This brand I accepted, unbeknownst to me, gives Orn. I'm able to communicate with anybody that has the brand. He can track me wherever I am with this brand, and he has the ability to discipline me with this brand. So I would prefer, until things are developed, if you could just not say anything to the group about this. I have no intention of hiding it from them. I just don't know how to reveal it to everybody.
Yeah, and still in uncharted waters, it seems like we get more understanding, but still don't know shit about fuck about shit.
I'm sorry, say it again. I was reading Paul's thing. I can't multitask. Fuck.
Oh no, I was telling Mitch that sounds about right, because as much as we've gathered today, we still don't know shit. And
okay. All right. So okay. So again, say nothing about the brand, and let's go in. And as we're walking up, I put my arm around your shoulder as I'm like kind of helping you because you're still a little bit wounded in, and I'm just saying like, hey, no hard feelings. Like, sorry about the dagger.
And I look at you and say, thank you for pulling away from the dagger, man. My gut's still feeling terrible.
The eye thing is creepy.
You did just recently get fucking stabbed in the gut.
Yeah, that's the eye thing is creepy.
I want to say twice.
Yeah. He doesn't know about the eye thing yet.
No, he did the eye thing to me.
No. He did not intentionally do the eye thing to you. You
okay.
just revealed
right,
to
yeah,
him
that's
that
funny.
his eyes have done a thing.
Yeah, hey, that eye thing is creepy.
What about my eyes?
Huh?
You tired?
What? The whole flamey thing? What?
Out of character, I don't know that I did do that.
Correct. Like,
yeah.
he has just revealed to you that you had employed these, or perhaps it was the first time that it's taken effect, or etc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can roll with it from there, but like, you didn't realize you were doing it. He has just revealed to you that your eyes have done a funny thing.
I did a thing.
Yeah, no, the flamey thing with the weird writing. What?
What color are your eyes normally, Logi?
Let me see if I put it in my notes of his appearance.
A beautiful shade of dark magenta.
Like, there's still that color, but the white of the eye around it in a circle, like blazed with like black runes.
Yellow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a creepy look. It's even more intimidating now. I'm glad you beat me on that roll. Yeah.
Yep. So you described this effect to him?
Yeah.
I have to keep note of this.
Yeah, we definitely need to keep note of that. We could use that if you can harness it. Alright, so now we walk back into the Nilbog.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody's inside.
Yep.
We can safely say at this point, you guys all need to have a conversation regarding what to do next, what you've learned, how you want to handle this. The rest of the night, like, passes peaceably as you guys do this. Between, like, Finkel had a power nap. He doesn't sleep much anyway, so he's standing by, watching the front. And both Killian and Kettle take a turn. Killian had a nap earlier, and Kettle grabs one. So
we can safely say that you guys get the effects or benefits of a short rest, which we'll handle quietly as you guys have this conversation. You are all back in the Bronze Steel blog. We'll call it like 2:10, though realistically when we pick up play after all of this, it'll be like 10 a.m., which would be like when you guys are getting ready to do whatever the fuck you decide to do. Okay? So this conversation, what is occurring, is happening between 2 and 10. And I think that's what I have mechanically. It is 11:25, so I don't feel like we rush this conversation, but wherever we end it gives us a really good point to start next session. Thoughts on that before we continue with this?
Oh, fine with it.
Fine with that.
Everybody's cool?
Heck, I'm just more curious about what I heard as they were walking up towards the door. Like anything about that weird eye thing? Or...
I
think you would have heard the eye conversation.
Yeah, I was just going to say the eye thing would be fine, yeah.
I think
yes, okay, so I know that Logi's eyes did a weird thing. Something happened down at the docks, and he did, and Logi did some weird shit.
Pretty much.
Now we're suspicious of Logi as well. Fascinating.
You're such a suspicious person.
Dude, I told you before we started that I was like, I'm not sure Straniu trusts any of y'all fuckers.
That's
funny thing is that I've been having similar conversations with Eric about in regards to general paranoia.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I trust any of you.
I don't think any of you should trust a rogue to begin with. Or an orc, so or a shisty little fucking warlock. I think Hakon could probably have been trusted.
For the ride either way, and I was like, I don't fucking know, dude. I don't think Straniu likes any of you.
That's fine.
Yep, there's no problem with that, realistically.
Well, it makes for much more fun for everybody, I think.
It's gonna be a very interesting party dynamic is when there's loose alliances. I love loose alliances because it's like, fuck you, I don't fucking trust you, and you're like, shut the fuck up, I need you right now. Like, I don't give a fuck if you trust me or not. Like, get your ass
for the next
We're basically sellies. Like, you just, I don't care if you don't like me. Like, fucking sleep in the same room.
That's not how sellies work.
Okay, no, it's not.
I do propose, but now Straniu is satisfied that everybody is in the pub and has noticed that
Hakon, yep.
Hakon, from where Straniu sits, we're still down one, and he kind of gestures towards the door and grunts, and where's Hakon?
I might have missed that. What did they do with Hakon's body?
They
took him to the ship.
They took him to the ship. They loaded him up there, and then I think I posted it in main base. Trovar, the cleric dude with one eye, like sewed him up into a sheet and cast a spell on him. And that's what you guys know, actually.
So we're not going to put him on a surfboard?
Push him off into the... realistically, what happened was he cast a cantrip called Spare the Dying, which preserves the body.
Okay.
Oh, I think it was Tom that called it the Tedomo or something.
Tormeo. Oh, the Tormeo.
The Tormeo.
No, my brain thought he called it the tomato.
I think that's why he said Tormeo or something like that.
He said Tormeo.
I the tomato in my head.
I actually have a couple of notes here to the right of me, and like one of them at the top is headed Tormeo and then underlined. That's what it is now. These things happen.
Tomato in my brain.
No, the fucking game. Game evolves. It's cool.
Okay, but yeah, Straniu is going to notice that we're still missing one and kind of watch the other two have their weird conversation about eyes. And Logi's eyes doing a weird thing as they go inside and ask about.
You still smell a little.
We're still missing one. And perhaps smelling a little poop and noticing as Midan goes by that. I'm just going to scrunch up my face a little bit. Is anyone going to tell Straniu where our fallen comrade has gone?
Did you verbally ask?
Yeah, that was. I think that all.
I was gonna say no. That was largely in character, scrunching up my face, but gesturing towards the docks, and it was mostly gestures towards the docks and towards the inside of the tavern. And Hakan. I keep saying it wrong.
Hakan,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you're like, you're like, is anyone else coming? Like,
yeah, like
Hakan?
I'm asking after him, or I'll just say, I cast my eyes around the tavern and outside again, and do a head count, and all Straniu really says as he grunts inside the door, like from the doorways, "We're short one."
Wasn't Hakan like fucking 6 foot? Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm gonna as far as Midian is concerned, I have a lot on my mind right now, and I am gonna go take a seat and just not make eye contact with anybody. I'm just gonna go sit the fuck down and be unresponsive for a minute here.
I also sit down, but also whip out, like in my bag, the steel mirror and try to see what my eyes for a quick second, and then put it away and start looking at the travel journal, just window shopping through the pages.
He was gonna say the travel journal.
I'm sitting at the bar drinking, looking at my little floppy fin in my hand.
Okay.
So is anybody gonna answer, Straniu? The ones that aren't in dot.
I was already inside.
So no one's gonna fucking answer me. I said from the doorway and did a head count and announced to the room, "We're short one," and everyone's just gonna look away. How rude.
I mean, I think this is a great time for Tommy to explain where Hakan went, seeing as how your longbow shots could have saved him. Yeah, and not to pun it, but shots fired. Since you did a poopy job at distracting Straniu, that's my quit back.
I don't want to talk about poop right now.
So, as I flap this little piece of fin in my hand back and forth, I slap it down onto the table, and Cicatrix says, "We lost one. He was fallen to these lizard creatures," and I pick it up and flap it in the air.
Lizard creatures? Where did you go that involved lizards?
We went on a little journey, went down towards the little bridge. We had to turn around and make it back, but Midian went. We stayed.
She has no idea where I went.
Straniu pulls a bit of a face that Midian went, but we stayed, and chooses that that's a conversation for later, and then kind of cocks his head a little bit and like stares more at Cicatrix, and is just, does the captain know? What are her thoughts?
Any thoughts she has? She was overwhelmed with everything I told her.
Everything? There was more than lizard folk on a bridge?
Yes.
What else did you see? How far did you scout?
People. The fish people are even mad. Did you know that?
Fish people? Oh,
yes.
I forgot. Yeah, there was apparently a thing with like what fish people and bird people that I was not present for, but I apparently laid hands for. What do I know?
I think you would know everything about that fight if you. Did you watch the video of me and Logi?
No. Oh, was that the part 2? I thought that was the second part of campaign I was part of, so I didn't double back to it.
There was
so that's on me then. I have my own research to do. Sorry.
Well, there was one in there. Basically, what happened is me and you would totally know about this at this point. Like, this is before you went to bed and left on the last one. So basically, what happened is me and Logi walked down to investigate the shiny thing at the end of the road there, down by the docks. And we stumbled upon a bunch of fish attacking some birds, and there were some lizard men that got involved, and those are the Kuatoa or whatever, and then the Kenkus, and then the lizard folk. And basically they were having kind of like a little three-way battle where Paul kind of just like battled out some NPCs. Our whole objective was to stay quiet and let them whittle themselves down. And so Paul just kind of like...
This, the Shed Part 2?
Yeah, I think it might be Shed Part 2. Maybe. I think so.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't listen to that because I thought that it was...
Well, I think the audio might be scuffed on that one anyways. But yeah, basically what happened is
I appreciate it.
we've watched them fight for a minute, and then Logi failed the stealth check, so they noticed him. And then one of the lizards fucked him up, and I think some birds shot an arrow at us. And he was basically on 1 HP after we killed all the lizards and the fish. The fish died to the birds, and the lizards. The lizards and the birds kind of were both attacking us at one point. And we killed the lizards, and then there was like the birds left, and to save face, I was like, yo, listen, you cut it. I was like, I think I intimidated them, and I rolled like a fucking really high intimidation. I was like enough, or persuasion, I think it was. And I was like, yo, enough's enough. I was like, listen, we didn't attack you. You don't attack us. I was like, you can have everything here. Just let us go. And the bird was like, and the bird was like, so we get the shinies. And then he's like, you may go. And then we just left, and I dragged Logi back to the bar by his horn, like. And I was just wondering to myself, like, Logi put a whole journal entry in there, and he's basically like, I was just like, well, we gotta fucking build a cage now, like, so in.
I think I do remember that now.
Like side quest, like, I fucking hate those birds. Like, I don't think Logi likes them either, but like, I fucking hate them. Like.
Okay, no, but I will say this is all the more reason that Straniu doesn't fucking trust Midan, because every time he disappears, either now he comes back and
that's
Logi's
a fair reason.
Dying
I
or
just bring
dead.
and I would just like every time we come back with wounded people, I'm fine every single time. Like, I'm completely fine. Like, I'm a selfish little bastard.
Okay. Perhaps apropos of nothing, but he often lives in Daisy firefights as well.
Yo, you know what? Fuck you, motherfuckers.
Well, you're 200 meters away, man.
I turned around and ran. Self-preservation, baby.
So off on the side, while Logi was reading that book, was that other things that occurred there. Logi, you've essentially discovered that you can read languages you did not previously read.
Logi is having hell of a time in...
What's that?
No, it's just the fact that everything is all happening in one day is not lost on him at all.
Been a big day.
Oh, yeah.
And there's heavy conversations that are going on. Yeah, realistically, you guys have been here for less than like 12 hours. It's about time to progress the timeline a little bit.
We're bringing the pocket back. That's fun.
Pocket's always been there, Claire.
Oh, they're very true.
My world,
but we don't have any.
I wasn't expecting everything to.
So, but we have no idea what the pocket is. Obviously,
I know. No. It's always nice when you're reading something or playing something through to see something a little familiar from lives past.
Is there any way any of us could roll for something? Oh wait, we wouldn't know because Logi hasn't told any of us this yet. But I was gonna say if he does,
Logi's sitting there reading quietly.
Yeah, he's discovering all this as you guys are talking. Like.
Yeah, Straniu's trying to get information from Cicatrix.
I think this is a very productive if Claire, you lead the questions right now, because obviously we all have information and we look fucking battle worn and beaten in our own thoughts. Like, if you drive this right now, I think that's a great like character development as far as like the story goes.
Well, I don't know. It's also hard to talk to fucking Cicatrix, the little drunk guy flapping a.
It's hard to talk to him as Tommy in real life. You got it.
That's
you nailed it.
All right. Before anybody answers, what questions would you like to ask? And feel free to write them down. Like, we have multiple media outlets here. Like, organize your thoughts and shit for sure. Again, like, we've played. This is 4th session, realistically.
I think so, yeah.
And it's the second one where everybody's been together, and I feel like you guys have picked up a lot of what's going on and have a lot of other questions. And that's fucking super intended. As a DM, referee, whatever you want, I want you guys fucking invested in this world. So I think the only person that I haven't quite hit yet, like Claire has other shit. Tommy, you're coming, baby. I got you, sweet boy. You little drunken ass. I'd like to invest all of you in your own little side quests and shit. You know what I mean?
I have my. Oh, believe me, I have a side quest.
Okay, you actually there's a couple that are
Yeah, I know.
quietly seated out there for you. Okay,
Oh no, I'm gonna go
Like-
hard on my little.
that's the objective.
Which you
Another
see what
little-
I do with this little flappy skin.
That's a terrifying statement.
God.
Another little side statement here is selfishly, it's my fucking birthday today. This
hey.
is exactly what I wanted to do. Was this shit? So I hope you guys are fucking invested because
Well,
that means you'll play this game with me more often, and I love that shit.
I'm having a great time.
I'm very pleased to hear that. We haven't had like a combat or anything. It's been a role play heavy
We have-
episode.
Oh, so
but
I was going to say, we haven't? Like,
No,
not
no,
today.
no.
Not
There's
today.
been a lot
Lizard man
that's
jumps out of the water.
On a side note, real like quick question, Paul. Did you think that's how I was going to handle that windmill?
Yes, to not quite with that degree of eagerness to accept.
The brand.
You may have missed a few things by being so eager, as it turns out. But no, that went pretty much as I expected.
Okay, all right. Because you seem like I wasn't sure if you were saying like Orn's like laughing and like a wolfish grin and stuff is like you kind of like persona coming through there. Like you're like, I did not think you were gonna do that right away. Like you were so eager to do that.
He's supposed to come across as like highly intelligent and a little fucking deranged.
Yeah, okay, because that's how I'm assuming he's just deranged. Like he has
like,
skeletal
what's
guardians.
the word
like...
I want? Right. And he's super fucking casual.
Super casual about it. Yeah, feet
he's
up, no
surrounded
threat.
by cages with women and children and shit in it, and like it's clear that he was about to interrogate one or some shit. Like the guy is not on the good spectrum of things. I feel like that's pretty clear. Like I couldn't make that any more clear. Truthfully,
yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm a big fan of the show not tell method of storytelling. And I realize that can be a little bit brutal sometimes, but I genuinely believe that you should make your bad guys fucking bad.
Yeah, I do too.
Claire wants to kill this motherfucker so hard, it's awesome.
I have my series of questions. Sorry.
From what she knows.
Oh, there we go.
I can read it aloud if you want.
We've
I think
engaged.
Says booze.
I think you lead it how you want. Ask the people, talk to the people.
He takes a long drag of a tankard. I read as he takes a long, like, hit a pipe. Like, made his pipe smoker for sure. All right. There is no Hakon. Let's address that first.
As in, Hakon is no more?
Yes, I missed all my. Unfortunately, it might have been.
Like shit then.
My fault. I missed every single shot.
Beer back.
And from there, just luckily, we got close, and I took out my cleavers and sunk it to do its neck and finish it. But
oh, you're good. I know you're done.
No, that's all I was gonna say, and then I'm gonna take another long sip.
I was gonna.
Do you just kind of you did already give me a fair chunk of this, and Paul was like, just write down your questions. So do you just kind of want me to?
No, I think if we go through them,
and we can double back.
No, I think it'd be
read it yourself and respond.
No, I think it would be better if you led the narrative. So like if you were like, so what? Just no Hakon? Like he fell at the bridge with lizard people?
Do that, and he was just like, I don't know, there were lizard people and and I was like, well, he fell at the bridge with the lizard people.
Right.
Where were the lizard folk, and how prepared were they for battle?
So with that, I'm going to stand up, not without saying anything. I'm going to walk to the bar. I'm going to grab a bottle of liquor or wine or beer, or whatever's around. I'm going to take a swig, right, and I'm going to swallow it hard, right, like you hear it go down, and I'm going to look at you and just be like, Hakon's dead, and it wasn't Cicatrix's shooting. He ran into battle like the brave fool that he is. He sacrificed himself to buy us time. And then I'm gonna take the bottle. I'm gonna pour a little bit out onto the floor for the homie. And then I'm gonna.
Well, they were clearly well enough to take down Hoke and the Hardy. But how are we equipped enough to be safe as we move forward from this place in the future?
And very abruptly, I'm gonna look at you and say, no. None of us are safe, okay? The lizard folk, the birds, the fish, they're all handleable. Maybe not all at once, but again, Hakon ran into that fight. He did not need to do what he did. He did it for us.
Does the captain know?
I wouldn't know this. I mean, maybe I would, but
I'm gonna say
No, this is the Cicatrix Logi
yeah,
question.
yeah.
He's like that, kind of like the way I'm sitting now. Is like when you have your thumb and your forefinger extended, and you just kind of have that. It's just resting, and your forehead, and it's like and your elbows on your knee, and he just does the captain know?
Smokes his pipe.
Oh, he's more squeezing his temples, like as a former general, just charged into battle like a big old dumb sweet idiot, and we were ill prepared, and they were better. And
he's also a doctor and a chef
with paraplegic children.
He was our doctor and our chef.
Work with paraplegic children, turn their lives around. Hey, kid. Hey, God.
He went to Sox game. I heard the monologue.
He did go to Sox games.
And also, I'm not positive that I heard this during his death, but he hated me the most.
he did hate me the most.
We're not sure though. I don't know if I heard that. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't. But
the lizard folks who heard are dead now, so no one really knows.
I quietly loved Haken. Not in a gay way.
Does the captain know that he is dead, and is the captain sending reinforcements for us to fight these lizard folk?
Okay, so we can kind of address the conversation you guys had with the captain here. You guys spoke with Trovar, the cleric, on your way out. He seemed to be of the opinion that he was going to get some people together.
Oh yeah, homeboy said he was going to bring people to the boat.
Shore. That's what you know. Trovar is not necessarily in the line of command, however. Yeah. The captain seemed a bit defeated and needed some time to talk to the sergeant and sort some other things out. Again, you guys have been here at this point less than 12 hours, and the situation looks pretty motherfucking dire, all things considered. I think she would like to meet with you guys again in the morning, and after you've basically convinced her to let you go because you need to go and pick up Midan and shit. You have forces on the ground that you need to pick up. Realistically, there's 5 people that were loose in the city that you needed to get together. Fair reason to get out.
And then I figured that we would go back to the ship because, and then we could talk to her further, see what her decision was. And the guy already said, pretty much regardless of her situation, I will have a crew with me. So what I wanted to do was, after we were done getting questioned, I wanted to, because obviously I'm going to wait for Midan to come talk to me, because Midan gave me that look of fuck, go do some shit. I'll get a hold of you later.
An explanation for sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna meet up with him a little later. I'm gonna tell him about the extra crew that is coming, pretty much fucking regardless of whatever the captain says.
You're only telling him, or you're telling everybody?
I was only going to tell Midan.
I'm gonna say, I feel like the general answer I'm getting, I feel like we don't have to roleplay the entire conversation.
We don't.
But the response to beyond that, does the captain know? Are they sending reinforcements? The answer could be,
we don't know, but maybe.
We did.
Yeah,
we did tell the captain. We spoke to. We put him to rest as best we could, and we need to recoup and see what happens in the morning. I wrote this out as just kind of like a general framework, this is what's on Straniu's mind and the questions he wants answered as to also kind of give a conversational structure so that everybody else kind of had a chance to think ahead a little bit.
Do you feel like we've answered all those? I feel like we have.
I think so as well.
Then
the other part was just the military brain of I hate to lose one, but if it is for the greater good to move forward and extend our understanding of this land, it is a worthy sacrifice.
Well, and so at this point I think it actually kind of goes back to Midan. Grim, I feel like you've probably been chewing on something over there, so we'll address that here in a minute. If I'm wrong, let me know. Do you have something you might want to do?
Other than after Midan mentioning Hakon, that's where I, closed the travel journal and would have piped up about if the captain knows, saying that she needs to think on it. She's kind of disheartened, and relaying that Trovar is planning on getting a crew together regardless of the captain.
You don't necessarily
Straniu is a
know that it's
former-
regardless of the captain. You just know that that's
Yeah.
what Drovar intends to do. It's not necessarily like skullduggery kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
this
mutant.
dude
But it
might have
is.
been friends with Hakon and was not a part of the expedition, like or like of the forces you guys are, right? Like he
Well,
was
no-
there as more of a settler, but he's of the opinion that they're all settlers, but first they need to do something about this shit. So we can say that you guys have set up like a tentative meeting with the captain the next day, which will handle the next session, right? So on Discord we can get together like a list of all the things that we want to address with the captain, and we can more focus on like not only I guess the conversation with you guys, but at this point it's got to be what you're going to do next. Midan was offered a couple of options, and I think that he needs to frame those things to you guys, and you need to figure out what direction you want to go outside of meeting with the captain. You would have gotten the impression that she's pretty wishy-washy on this entire fucking thing, so you guys are going to need to drive this motherfucker home however you decide to do it.
Before I nail the, I assume that my shit is probably the most dramatic as far as everything is concerned, or most new shit that you guys don't know that. So I got a lot to say. But do you guys want to maybe tell us about the person you ran into in the water? Because I don't know anything about this. Before I continue.
Oh yeah, no one has mentioned that.
Yeah, I feel like that's very.
Talk about the fin that I wanted to make.
I don't think they've wanted to.
Oh, so you
Or maybe we need to ask about the fin.
Because I'm not gonna.
No one wanted to talk about the fin that I wanted to make.
Well,
How does the fin have anything to do with that?
don't even understand what the fin has to do with that. Yeah.
I was just going to say to the group that Straniu, as distrustful and suspicious as he is of everyone, as I did try to include in my little dialogue conversational layout, is that he is a former military general, and his largely due to my personal out of character absence has pretty much been left behind to fortify and maintain a safe space for the last 12 hours and not actually go explore it all, and may or may not be chomping at the bit a little bit to we're out there, we're fighting, we're exploring, and he's
to interject,
the one left behind on
it
watch.
was his decision to not come along with us, if that means anything to you. But on a side note, as far as the girl in the water, are you guys not going to tell us about that? That's absolutely not.
No one asked me about
I
the fin.
don't know about her. I don't
asked
care
about
about
the
the fin. I don't care about the fin. I'm saying, are you guys not going to tell us about the girl? I wouldn't know to ask you about the fin. I wouldn't know that there's a girl tied to this.
Yeah.
He's been flopping it around all night, deeply asking.
And no one said anything.
No one said anything about it.
Yep,
Are you? Is neither
I
one?
don't
No
give a
one's going to
shit
tell
about
us about the
the fin.
girl.
To be fair,
I did.
she looked over and asked. That's what he tried to convince her to come inside and take a look at. Right? Was the fin?
So no, I'm not going to tell anybody about it.
You don't think that that's valuable information
to
to?
ask at one point what was going on with the fin, and he said the lizard folk, and I was like, what lizard folk? And he's like, the ones that we fought, and I was like, can I have more information? How well are they prepared? What goes on with these lizard folk? And
A side note again,
Mitch,
as far as
I love ya, took over and didn't let Tom respond.
what does the fin have to do with the girl?
Because I'm going to make it into a fan for her.
Okay, that is so stupid. I'm sorry, bud. Would you fucking... Is there a reason you're not going to just forthright information about the person you met on the way back to the boat? Logi, you too? Like, is there any specific...
Well, Logi, I was waiting for a moment.
Okay.
Logi wouldn't mention it because he was more focused on, like, getting Hakon to rest, relaying information,
Okay.
and with current developments, once everyone was getting back, kind of took more precedent than
That's fair.
about the person in the other, like in the water with us, and I'm not really interested in herbalism.
Okay.
Half org and not imagine at all.
Okay, so before I get started on my monologue here, I'm gonna address the room and say, before I get started on my monologue here, does anybody have anything else they'd like to bring on the table of events that people may not be filled in on before I drop the bomb?
I actually had something that made a bit more sense.
Well, you can say you can say your thing at the same time too.
Okay, yeah, we could speak at the same time, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, as opposed to like, I'm asking all these questions kind of directed at Cicatrix or Cicatrix. I keep wanting to say
It's fine.
something from like Mortal Kombat, but and
Cicatrix
he's just kind of giving me the same little. He's drunk. Honestly, I feel like at this point he's drunk in the corner, and I'm frustrated because I don't have all the information. I don't have a game plan. I don't have a battle plan. I don't have all of the information to feel comfortable going in and making a military plan of action. And I'm just going to kind of like huff and just kind of turn to Logi. And is there nothing of importance that happened with the captain? Probably at the same time that Midan is like, does anyone else have anything to bring to the table, or whatever you decide to say? But I feel like we both kind of like explode in the room with frustration at the same time. Me, from Straniu's point of view, it's more, is anyone going to give me any more information beyond the fucking basics? And you may be more like, well, I have news to share.
Yeah, because I'm under the impression here that we're telling our stories of what happened to us so that we're catching everybody up to speed. So that's why I wouldn't understand why we would be reserving information on running into a exotic woman on a canoe who asked us to do a quest for her, right? Like, why would we withhold?
Who would realistically be reserving things would probably be Midan.
That's my point. Is I have my reservations, but why would you guys? I'm trying to say this very nicely. Why the fuck haven't you told us about this? Like, that's
Fair assumption that like casually like between a hot conversation, looking over at the half-orc and be like, what the fuck are you actually doing with that fin? And he's like, I'm making a fan for a girl. And you're like, what fucking girl? And then the story of running across the woman in the kayak comes up, and you guys are like, she wanted what? What the fuck? Okay. And then you continue on with, the conversation.
I'm a half-orc
which is
person.
Finally ended with, like, Straniu frustrated, feeling as a military mind approaching this situation, like trying to capture an occupied port, right? That's housing a goddamn colony ship that's low on food when there's no citizenry. Like, there's none of the infrastructure that fucking should be here, right? Very valid
about
approach.
lizard folk and fins.
Mm-hmm.
Which, talking about the lizard, Claire, shut up. Claire, it's my turn now.
All right, I'll mute. I'm gonna mute.
Thank you. Regardless of what he's talking about, it's led into valuable sharing of information at this point. And what really hasn't come up, the only real important thing that's left besides sharing the information or the experiences that you have all had with the various factions, shall we say, within the city, the Kuatawa, the fucking Raven folk, the Kenku, I can never remember their goddamn name. This Orn fellow with the consortium and the slavers and dogs that he apparently has, the Inateki, which you guys really haven't discussed in much detail, the lizard folk who you seem uncertain and both strangely fixated on and not enough at the same time. There's some questions here that you guys could be asking each other that could be very informational. You guys have many pieces of the puzzle. However, the real important thing, as the room explodes in this moment of frustration, is Straniu is finally like, fuck, I need more answers. I need to know what kind of forces are we looking at? Where are they fucking sleeping? What numbers are we fighting against? That Midan finally decides to speak up about the experience that he had at the mill. Are we cool?
Thank you.
Fine with that.
Everybody's good? Yeah, no. I totally understood what you were going for there. Again, valid. Everybody's approach here was valid and in character. A little bit of chaos sometimes is important. This is sometimes why we want to limit the role play. Throwing that out there. What we can say is, I relate this experience to the party. Boom, boom, boom. I withhold this experience from the party. Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying here? We can be efficient with our time, but this is also, I think, enjoyable for everybody. So,
I agree. And
now
in the
we can
final
get
minute,
to the
happy
meat
birthday.
on the bones. Oh, thank you. Word. Was it fucking 35 minutes? Okay. We'll see. So, we're really at the bomb. So everybody's essentially caught up across the board, right?
Except for the girl on the boat.
Everything that you guys have heard about, we have the Discord, and we can address those questions between each other over the course of the next week. so that everybody's caught up on different things, you guys might put some of the puzzles together there, right? But right now, we're at essentially like the quasi-redacted information that Midan is about to relate to you guys, which could impact how you go forward and essentially the conversation that you're going to have with the captain tomorrow. Everybody's on board, and we're all level, right?
Aye.
Agreed.
Yep. Everybody's cool. Tommy, you there?
Do I have info? Do I now have information on the woman, or is that a side conversation I did not hear?
I think you guys have all shared the information on the woman that was there.
What was the woman's name? Did you guys grab that? Did she?
I don't think you did.
Never asked her name.
I don't think so.
I don't think they did either.
She was an adorable Amazonian woman with a piece of skin on her. I did not ask her name. I just did whatever she asked me to.
Okay, so we don't. So okay, all right. Well, that's fine. That's okay. So we don't know her name. Okay, because I have.
Introduced. Sorry.
I know. No one said anything.
Oh,
quite possibly. We'll listen back through. Did you?
No. As for Logi, he introduced himself, not realizing the custom and just politeness of if you give someone your name, the other end would be someone else's name.
Yeah, but she never did though. Exactly.
I don't think she did.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll listen back through.
No,
I will in the next couple of days, but I don't think she did.
Yeah, I'm positive she didn't. So I just want to make sure that we don't know her name. Only because I have a person on here whose name I've never heard before, who we've never heard before. I've been pretty much inside every single thing that's happened, and this name is new to me. So that could be that girl is the way I'm thinking. That Nalathava. Or that person, right?
Oh,
goddamn right.
You know,
goddamn right.
You know what I'm saying, though. But again, I'm about to tell all you about this. This is why I asked whether or not anybody caught her name, or if anybody wanted to tell me about somebody on the boat.
No, I did hear. I just also
I don't
forgot
necessarily.
Excellent fucking note keeping, Mitch. This is why you are the note keeper.
There's no reason
introduce herself.
There's no reason that I need to murder Nalathava. He only asked for information on this person, Nalathava. Any information I can bring on that person.
I don't care. We can kill her.
But I don't know if that's the person because nobody asked her fucking name. When you meet a girl at the bar, you don't ask her name.
Nope.
You should. Okay.
No, that's
Lesson learned.
That was. I do recall hearing.
I was with the girl for a month and a half and didn't know her name.
I'm gonna say Mitch, as a human being, kept a note. It seems neither Cicatrix or Logi kept a note. So Mitch, as a out of character person, caught her name.
Is a piece of shit.
I don't know if that's her name. I don't know if that's who we're looking for. I don't know. I'm just in the back of my mind thinking we need to ask who she is because he didn't. All right. So I'll do my monologue here because we're getting too deep in this. It's all about what I'm about to explain.
Yeah, we're talking about shit that doesn't matter. Go on. I'm gonna mute.
It's about to. No. I don't want you to mute because I want you guys, if you have questions as a character, to interject here. Cut me off and be like, wait. What does that mean, or what is that about, or what the fuck, or I think we should do this or something. So just in the back of your minds, if something pops up, say it and I'll address it as long as we don't tangent too much. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get too crazy.
That's why I'm muting is because my brain is starting to ping pong. It's been 3.5 hours, so I'm gonna mute and I will unmute if Straniu has questions.
Okie dokie. All right. So I'm still standing up at the bar, and I have now finished my entire bottle of. I'm gonna call it liquor because it needs to be hard at this point. And Logi's. Would she just leave? Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
So Logi's sitting in a chair and you put your book away. I'm assuming you're listening. Tommy or Cicatrix is sitting at the bar too. Straniu's, I'm assuming, sitting near the bar at the table. So everybody's. I just have everybody's undivided attention now. So I make a loud throat clear. I'm like, anyways, I'm sure you're all wondering what has happened with me and Orn, since nobody's outright asked me yet. Anyways, so I met with him, and I casually walked up as to show no fear, as this man is powerful. I don't know if he is powerful in physical ability, but I am assuming that a man of his stature does not get to where he is without being feared by some or many. I have some information to share with the group. There is a lot of things going on here, and you all need to be brought up to speed. So my meeting with Orn was quite simple, quite quick. He has the entire, what I imagine, I gathered about a little less than 30 people in cages at the windmill. I believe those are the townsfolk. If there are more out there,
cages.
Yes, cages, inhumane living condition cages. Okay, they are prisoners of not even a war. They are his slaves. They are his captives. I didn't think you would like that. So, anyways, he has basically told me in Thieves' Cant to meet him at the windmill. Straniu, you may have missed this. You were sleeping during the entire thing. I took it upon myself to lead a war band down there to investigate, and a person of his creed would not Thieves' Cant me a symbol if he meant me any harm. He needs things done. He wants to be off of this land. He is a contracted, we'll call it a business. He is here to collect slaves. He is here to do a bunch of other things. Some of those things are things...
The business of collecting people is despicable.
I did not say it was a good business, Straniu. You are correct on this. Again, I don't necessarily care about these people. I haven't met them long enough to care about them. Do I think what he is doing is morally right? No. It doesn't. But as long as his interests align with ours, we can keep what could be an enemy not an enemy. Now, as far as this develops, that may change. So to quickly sum up what has happened is I had met with him. He has skeletal guardians at the windmill. I counted 3. There could be more. I do not know. Oh, so he is not alone.
Skeletal guardians. Skeletons.
Skeletons, yes. Bones of reanimated corpses. He has...
Straniu is noticeably absolutely horrified.
I figured the paladin would be. So anyways, he has asked me to from thief to thief. He must be in the circles that I dwell in, having known Thieves' Cant. I showed him hospitality when he came here. There was no outright aggression. He did threaten us, but again, they could be false threats. He may be bluffing. He may have nothing. We know none of this, but we must treat it as a lit fuse. So he has asked me to do a couple things for him, and he will line our pockets with gold, is what he said. I know all of us came here seeking new adventures, finding new lives, to make a fortune, whatever your reason may be. None of us really knew each other before this trip, but we're all here, and sometimes the world brings people together for reasons. So I think we need to stick together and hear me out on this, because I've already devised a couple of options for us. Firstly, he has asked me to find any information on an individual known as Nalathava. I do not know whether they are male or female. I do not know what race they are. I do not know anything about this person other than a name, Nalathava. I'm curious as to if that is the person on the boat that you may have ran into, or some random person we haven't met yet. But that's a side note. He said that is more of just an interest to him. The next thing that he has asked me to do, not necessarily any of you, he doesn't know about all of our existence. Some of us were upstairs sleeping, is out to our west on that big plateau. There's a man in a home up there, and he is the legate of this town. I do not have a name. He may have a name. He said he could possibly contact me about that later. In which way, I do not know. There's a legate on top of the plateau. He wants me, or us, or anyone, or something, to get the journals from him. He has a couple of journals that Orin very urgently wants, and he does not care whether the legate lives or dies. So I do not see that we need to necessarily fight this legate in outright combat. From what I gather, he is very well guarded. He has plenty of mercenaries on his side, and these are the people that actually make the liquor and beer here. These are the bridge burners, is what he called them. So it's very possible that they may know more about this town. They may have answers for us. You got it. And I do not think that we necessarily need to engage with them. On a side note, I have a plan for that. To move the story along, I have also, he has asked me, he has said that he needs a book. As far as the book is concerned, I don't know how to go about this, but I'm going to make a decision on the fly, and I am going to be forthright in outcoming with everything that I know and tell you all of the information that I have. The book that he is looking for is called The Tempest Tenebrae, and one of us among us has this book. That would be Logi. Logi's book that he is constantly reading and searching into his satchel for is the book that this man Orin is looking for. Now again, I have an idea. This is not Logi's fault. Logi is not responsible for this, and this is why I had a meeting with him at the end of the docks. There is no reason to assume Logi has anything to do with this. I don't think anybody has any idea what that book's power is, but Orin seems very, very, very intrigued by it, and that he needs it more than anything else that he's asked me to do. The book is what he wants the most. And I guess tomorrow, I believe around noonish, tomorrow around noonish, there's going to be a meeting along the coast at a fort that he will not be there for. So as far as information that I have gathered, this is what I know. He has basically dropped a couple of quests upon me. Nalathava, the legate's journals, and the legate, whether I bring him to him alive and dead. I think killing the legate would be a far greater service to him than bringing him back to Orin alive. Again, I do not personally care how that plays out. I do not think we need to fight him. There may be a better way to get his journals, if we choose to help Orin. And then again, we need to address the issue of Logi's book. So while I take a breath after talking and have another sip of something back here as I fumble behind the bar to wet my whistle again, does anybody have anything to say? Would anybody like to know anything more?
I came here
That's what I was
to
saying.
seek safe passage and travel for my people, and to forge ahead to find those that have come here before me. I see no point or promise or no godly good in siding with a man that benefits from the traffic or murder of other folks just trying to do the same. But this legate you mentioned, a holy man.
I believe it would be not a.
I believe he could help me or us find answers and the safest way to travel forward.
A couple of points. Legate, less holy, more
military
leader.
general. Yeah, military general type thing.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I did not see your.
No, and I correct you on this because you would know. This is the title.
I didn't see your update in chat just now. Give me one moment.
No issue at all. The other points you made are all still solid. There's nothing wrong with what you said. This is
I came here to find safe travel, and that is my entire goal, is to find a safe passage forward for my people. So why I would ever trust anything to someone that so willingly enslaves the souls, the minds, the bodies of others is absolutely non-negotiable and unacceptable. I trust this man lesser than I could throw him, and I could potentially throw him quite far. I see no benefit in making this man happy.
Okay, Straniu has made his stance. Logi, Cicatrix, what are your inputs?
Yeah, Straniu thinks this man can get...
Cicatrix leans forward, puts his little jug down, and he says...
Also, how dare you separate Logi from his books?
I'm fucking trying to read.
How dare you suggest separating Logi from his book?
And a monster.
I'll tell you what, after what happened, you might not know this yet, but what happened at the docks, I ain't trying to tell Logi to do shit no more.
I overheard the eye conversation, and I'm like, how dare you try to separate that boy from his book?
So anyways, Tommy, you put your jug down and what?
Tom.
I put my jug down. I say, for the meeting tomorrow with the captain, what should I say? We do have a crew coming. He's a healer.
Well, I think that we should be forthright with the captain on everything. I do not necessarily think he needs to know about Logi and the book. I believe that we should keep our party problems within the party. Again, I have a couple of strategies as far as two of these things are concerned, with the legate and the book. Once we've addressed everybody's concerns, I will tell you those strategies.
Have you told the captain of your connection to this slaver?
No, I have not personally spoken to the captain. They picked me up on the shore after my meeting, and we came directly here to you.
Yeah,
the captain is unaware of your. The captain is grossly unaware of your.
Grossly unaware in
personal handlings.
In
personal dealings is the phrase I wanted.
In the sense that I have not had the ability to talk to him since then. Yes, it's not that I am withholding information from the captain. I have not spoken to the captain yet. This all they
perhaps gesture to the two that have spoken to the captain, and are they aware of this supposed temporary alliance with this merchant?
I'm going to say this again, Straniu, to cut you off. I have not made an alliance with this merchant. It is not temporary. It is purely until we have devised a course of actions that I have decided not to make him an enemy. He is not a friend.
Has Straniu seen your arm? Did you not?
Nope.
No.
Only fucking Logi's seen that.
I thought in your little speech.
Nope. I'm not telling anybody about that. You guys know nothing about that yet. I just don't know. I want to see if there's a way that. Well, I'm not going to reveal any of the information, but.
No, it's fine. I did legitimately think that you revealed that to the party for a second.
Nope. The arm thing has not been told.
Still, I do. I have reason to believe that you did disappear into the night for a meeting with a slaver and learned of his aim.
So we're going to be completely honest with the captain.
I don't like that.
Again,
and leave out the party problems.
Like I said, we don't have to be. My character, out of character, is a chaotic neutral. I don't give a fuck about anything other than
my shit is all for the cosmic plan. I could give a fuck less.
Mine is my ass. Again, so we have a morally aligned paladin with us, right? I think the other NPC party members, I don't think their input really matters. They can say what they want, but again, I think we're the story driven here. So the other person is Logi. Logi, what are you aligned?
So here's my idea. How about because you made a fucking deal with.
My alliance is actually to fire.
I haven't made any deals. I purely sought information. I would like to stress this to the group. I have made no deals.
I understand that. Can I say what I want to say now?
You can, yes.
You gathered a brand. That's permanent.
You don't know that. Shut up.
Multiple times.
Well, you're saying you didn't make a line.
I didn't. I didn't know what he was doing.
Mm.
I did not know that's what was going to happen. There's no way I could have known that was going to happen. I did it because I thought he was going. I thought he was going to cut a piece of me off or something. I had no idea that was going to happen. But again, you don't know this.
Tom, it's Tom's turn.
Tommy, go.
Gotcha, motherfucker.
Yeah. Sense. Right. Hear me out. Cicatrix sets up, tells you guys about the other, like, let's call him a squad coming tomorrow with the healer. I forgot his name. That's why I just said that. And then because he just made that deal so we could see what the hell, so we have time, so we know what's going on. So why don't, if Claire being the morally person that wants to go talk to the fucking good old beer boys, right? So, because Orin has no idea. Orin has no idea about Straniu that was upstairs, right?
That's a fair assumption.
Oh, that's an excellent.
Which is why I said that in the beginning of my thing. I was like, he doesn't know all of us.
Yes, yep. Stoner thoughts take over. Okay, so why doesn't Claire take like? Why don't we make a side quest over to the beer and brewery merchant with Claire and behind her?
Beer and brewery merchant.
She goes and tries. Cause they're the whiskey makers, right?
Yeah, but they're mercenaries. They're just
Okay,
they just put their label on it. That might be their beer that we're drinking.
Largely because I'm not trying to play this campaign as Claire and Paul with NPCs while everybody else fucks off and does whatever else.
No, I'm not. I was saying we
could play that though.
No, I was saying we come behind you. Like you lead that. You lead it in your heroism, since we went the fucking complete opposite way with it. So like, what I'm saying is like, you go there, have a conversation with them, try to get information on because the other people are piece of shits.
Does
make sense?
Oren give information? Like, I know he said a plateau. Out of character, because I actually really paid attention pretty hard. Did he happen to say how like far away it was, like in terms of like a travel time, or do we not know that?
No.
Realistically, you would know where the plateau is because it's right behind the Bronze
literally
Nail Bog.
He pointed towards the Bronze
Do I
Nail
know
Bog.
about how much time it would take to get there?
No, he said
You
nothing
haven't
about
really
that.
investigated how no one's investigated how to get up there.
Nope.
That information you guys do not currently have.
Is that a good idea though? Next time we should head to the other person and see what they have to offer. See what information we can get from them. Then we meet back at the tavern, put everything together, and see the best plan of action to take.
Who, the Legat? That's who you're talking about?
That's where Straniu's at.
So
I believe that's what Tommy's talking about. Is going to visit the Legat.
Gotcha. So yes, I do,
as well.
And I have a plan for that. Is Logi, you've been very quiet this entire time. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I just look at Midan and, just say that it would be like the last thing I would want to do is give him this book.
I am aware that I think that goes without saying that nobody. I have tried. Hope I've made this clear as Midan, because, and again, this plays off of your intimidation on me. I don't want to upset you. I am being forthright with the group as far as everything other than, and you know more than most of those people, that I don't want to give him Ebrook, but again, I have a plan for the book and the Legate. So is there anything that...
No, it's not out of character and also in character. It's not out of, like, distrust of you. It's just, like, you're the only one, like, that had contact after the tavern with Oren.
Fair.
I just wanted to like put it out.
Okay. Yep.
He's interested in this book.
I think what I have to say might put you at ease a little bit, but we'll go from there.
I do actually. I know that there are multiple definitions of a Legate, and that it could mean multiple different things. But there is part of me that actually thinks that it would be hilarious for Straniu to move forward on. We're going to go talk to the Legate, because he is under the impression that it's going to speak to like a holy man.
Okay, that's fine.
And it's just not like it's just not like in his brain that a Legate could be anything other than like a high priest or something of this area.
What I'm telling you, though, is that as with your background as a soldier in the Mitralian army, you are familiar with this position because it would have been someone over you in the Mitralian army. This is a title you immediately recognize as not necessarily it's both a military and a civilian leader.
Be more of a respect.
It's someone who has experience from the military, but who's also like more of a governor.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That's a better description here. Is more of a governor, with a military background.
Or messenger.
No, governor with a military background. You're familiar with these motherfuckers.
Okay.
You've dealt with them before.
Okay.
You've taken orders from them before. You know exactly what they're talking about.
No, there's like 3 different definitions. I'm not familiar. With Claire, I'm not familiar with the word. I had to Google it, and the first 2 are of religious origin.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm
looking at them now.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, ooh, I think that would be really. I thought it would be funny if everyone was like, oh no, we're just gonna go talk to like these random dudes, and Straniu was all, I'm gonna speak to a holy man, and it turns out it's just like some whiskey dealer.
Yeah.
I actually thought it would be funny, RP.
No.
It turns out I just read the wrong definition. That's a bummer. That would have been really funny.
So Logi, what were you
Fascinating.
going to say?
So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I lost track of what Logi was saying, or what he was.
Oh yes, very sorry.
Oh no, it was just heavily interested in keeping said book.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. Do you want to? Would you like? Did you convey that to me? Like, did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a plan for that.
Yeah. So literally, I'm gonna point my finger and shake it at you like, haha. And I've thought ahead on this. Midian's always 10 steps ahead. So to address the book, I, as you all may not know, am a bit of a charlatan, and forgeries happen to be one of my specialties. With your permission, if there's a way that we could work this out, Logi, I would like to take a look at that book. Not take it from you. You can be there the entire time. Don't rest assured, I have no ill will on stealing this book from you. But I would like to maybe perhaps make an exact copy of it. One that has no meaning to you, but might have a meaning to Orn. I'm talking to you, Logi. So.
Yeah, he's like squinting at you, and
you can roll insight to see if he's bullshitting you.
Or you could roll fucking intimidation too.
Yeah. Good fucking lie to me.
And your eyes close ready.
You're my bitch now.
Yeah, I just hold your belt loop and follow you around. Pull your pocket out.
Hold my pocket.
Flip that pocket out. It's fine.
I would say that you're like, speaking as the DM, when you give the rogue an opportunity to go off on his own and get up to some bullshit, I am absolutely shocked with how straightforward he was about what occurred there. I think based on your earlier intimidation attempt and like how forthright he's been, you might be like, what's the word? He's being believable.
I was gonna say inclined to believe me.
Yeah, inclined. Yeah, you'd be inclined to believe him.
All right.
You may play it as you would like. It is your character and your book.
Okay. It's I'm gonna go with it as character, as in character, out of character. That is really sound, and it's just again the book. I like the book. Would it be under intimidation that I would tell him like that it's best not to be bullshitting me on the forgery?
Yeah, you could adapt for sure.
That he wouldn't have everything.
That he wouldn't have what?
Everything.
In the book?
How do you...
Yeah.
I think that Midian would address you and say, I think Orn knows more about that book than maybe you might know about that book. And it's quite possible that if we don't make an exact copy of it, he may see through the ruse, and we may have to find another way through that situation.
He's like touching the satchel and just shaking it. Fine, but I'll be there with like you when you have the book and record.
You're just gonna let him replicate your book like that?
I have no problem with that, Logi.
What skills do you have to replicate a book like that?
So, being a charlatan, I excel in disguising and forgery and pretty much anything like you would need to do.
Doesn't that mean you can put on a disguise as Orn and go to that meeting?
I'm getting there, Thomas. I'm getting there.
Utilizing forgery.
Okay, sorry.
Right. He's utilizing the forgery.
So I am utilizing the forgery kit as far as
That's
to
a
make
very fun way to use it.
an identical and to make an identical copy to maybe dupe Orn on, exactly. I think you guys are following along here. And so everyone's brought up to speed on that. It seems like Straniu is in a good agreement with that. That he's like, well, that's a good idea, I think.
He's hesitant, but is fascinated to see how it turns out. So he's
again, you would know this too. He has threatened us. He has said that he can make all of us disappear, even the ship, and he has no problem chasing us through this town and hunting us down. He does not give a fuck about us, and he'll kill everybody and throw their shoes in the ocean because he fucking can. And
war crime for war crime, and we're out of chefs.
To be fair, Straniu is also not like lawful stupid paladin of fucking bright shiny sun god either.
Yeah, what
like,
he worships the phoenix of
you
the
don't
silver
necessarily
flame.
Yeah, you don't necessarily know. Like Straniu could be brutal as fuck.
And I'm hoping he is actually.
Oh, no, they actually kind of are brutal as fuck, but nothing has really stoked it.
Ain't no paladin like slavery though.
No.
I was gonna say no paladins is coolest. No, exactly.
Maybe an oathbreaker, but you know.
They probably are slavers.
Yeah, even to the undead. Yeah. But okay, so we've addressed the book. Logi has tentatively agreed to maybe let me make a forgery of it. I don't think Cicatrix gives a shit, and Straniu's like, yeah, maybe, you know, I could see how that could work.
I don't particularly trust it, but let's try it. It's a solid idea.
I don't particularly know if it's going to work either.
That's on you.
Totally on me, right?
You're the one presenting the book.
again, I don't think, and I'm going to and addressing the party and like before, like I don't think he knows who you are or that you exist, or Finkel. You two were upstairs. Everybody else was downstairs, but like I don't think he necessarily. So we could pawn that in somewhere on this chessboard too.
This is actually also a very strong disadvantage, and I hate to say, well, Paul's in the chat because it means I have never actually seen him, and I am not positive what Orn looks like.
Well,
I've already thought of that. The road is.
No.
In that regard, I think that when Orn makes himself present with his character, I don't think Orn is hiding from anybody, honestly. So, but again,
that motherfucker's honey badger as hell.
Yeah, I think he's very fucking honey badger. That's a great way to put it. Okay, so anyways, book addressed, so which brings me to the Legat situation. Again, with my background being a charlatan, I have thought of another way that we can handle this situation. Straniu, you have a military background, if I'm to be so inclined to believe that. There is another item that I possess, and that is the ability, or a false signet ring. Have you any of you heard of this?
False signet ring.
I'm going to put it out on a limb and say that no, none of you have, being thievery.
Real quick, jumping in his DM.
I was gonna say, I actually want to roll some. I was gonna say, if you're asking me that kind of thing, I want to roll some things, and I'm not sure what.
Much like the Legate, I would give it to Straniu based off military background, especially high-level military background. Your orders are often sealed with the wax pressing of some form of ring, a signet ring specifically. These were used.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a wax
exactly
stamp.
what these things are intended for.
So
you can make a fancy forgery.
So like real fancy, like
I have one, or just recognize?
Like we could have him send him a military thing and have him come out.
That's all.
I think you'd have like a mid-level one yourself, Claire.
Actually, see, I have to look at my intelligence score. Was it my intelligence score to really know how much I know about signet rings?
I think it'd be history or something, right? Like
I think history would work.
History is actually one of my saving throws.
Like,
are you showing me a signet?
No, I can. It's a signet of a false duke or a imaginary duke. Like it is literally somebody that does not exist, but somebody who is in command doesn't always know everybody that's always in command, or from other parts of the world or other influences. So I could be from another land. I could be somebody higher than him with diplomatic immunity. I can make it whatever the fuck I flavor it to be, is what I'm saying. Like basically it's a blank slate for me to create a persona or seal documents that may let you inside of his little keep, you know what I mean? And to get information, well, maybe I go poke around his room and, like, you get where I'm going with this?
100%.
I did, but then I went looking up the signet rings on the internet, and I got sidetracked. But it's fine.
So
my main question was, were you showing me specific signet rings and I needed to roll a history check on to see if I recognized
no.
or not?
This does not exist. This is nobody's. You wouldn't know. Nobody would know. They're not real.
These are relatively common knowledge as well. Like their function and form.
Nothing super specific. Okay.
Right. You would be doubly familiar of them from your background of soldier, especially as a high level like relative command.
Yeah.
In much the same way that Mitch is,
manipulating
with forgery. Like it's just the background of like your backstory and history, essentially.
So moving forward,
necessary.
So moving forward, I would like to make a duplicate of the book, which I am under all impression that this will take some time. So the book, however, I don't know where Orn is exactly. I was last seen at the windmill. I don't know exactly how long we have until he decides to leave. I don't know if he's
reference the chat box in Discord in regards to that.
Meeting reference was once he threatened at noon was to the one he threatened at noon the next day with the Inateki. He said he was leaving.
When you initially met him, he said he was coming back at noon the next day to discuss a deal, right?
Yes.
When he came into the tavern.
Oh, so he'll be... okay.
When you spoke with him at the mill, he said that he would not be present tomorrow at the meeting at noon.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And that he would be leaving the city, trusting you to do this work for now.
Got it. Yep.
And that you could meet him at the fort that could be found by following the coast west.
Got it. Okay. Let me put that in my shit. So yeah. So anyways, so he's gonna send, I'm assuming, emissaries to the inn, and we need to give him somewhat of an answer. I told him I'd talk to all of you and get you all on board. I'm telling you this so that I don't withhold any information from you. I want to get the journal from the legate. I don't care what happens to the legate. Straniu, I understand that we don't need to kill him, so I'm telling you that from military person to military person.
I'm gonna say we don't actually need to have a whole conversation about it. As we can just kind of have a conversation for our own motives. We want to go to the legate, and for next session purposes, we want to go to the legate.
And this is my point. Yes. So
sorry,
I
yes,
think
it is midnight 36. Sorry. It's late, y'all.
So again, the legate. I would like to force some documents. We can work out a plan via Discord, like who can be going in. I think that you're a great choice to do this, Straniu. As long as I can get you on board morally with me rifling through his shit and maybe in grabbing his journal, or if you think there's a better way to do it, obviously, Tommy and Eric, feel free to chime in on if you have any other ideas. But
I'm just going as backup to kill shit.
And get the information.
Again, I know Logi is very attached to his book, and he will not let me give it to Orn. I am well aware of this, and I don't think that I expect him to do that. But again, my idea is maybe make a fucking forgery of it.
I also have a weird aversion to you taking the actual book, but making a copy in an attempt to deceive so that we can get further away.
Right, exactly, yes.
That seems potentially okay. There will be people on our tail, but...
Hey, seeing your hate for and again too, we don't necessarily know that this book has any magical ability. If all he wants is the information in it, then he can have the information in it. As far as Logi doesn't object to it, as far as I know, he told me, and this I would have conveyed this to you as well too. He said it's literally just children's stories. So Logi's just reading children's stories over there the entire time. And that's
personal notes and underlines and
it's
little rhymes in children's books that mean far more than they should.
But yeah, so like, and again,
children's
none
books
of us
are always more than children's books.
None of us know this. What this means to Logi, or how he got it, or what it has, what he intends to do with it, or whatever. No one knows that. But I just know that this motherfucker told my roguey ass that he would get me gold if I could get it. Again, I don't necessarily have any hatred towards you people. I don't care much about anything other than my own ass. And if I can see a way to line my pockets and keep Logi's book without pissing him off and still getting the gold from this guy, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
I'm trying to see my people through a safe passage to a safe place, and human slavers on the way is not something I am particularly keen to.
And on a side note, I do know that this legate...
Not human slavers, but just slavers.
The legate and Orn
not fine with it.
Are not... They used to be a little more friendly than they were, and they're not so friendly anymore. We might be able to even, if shit hits the fan with our original plan, convince the legate to help us, possibly. I don't know.
I have a paladin. I have like, oh my god, what am I fucking...
Charisma?
Words I meant to say. Intimidation and persuasion.
Yeah, I mean, and also too, military background. You might know somebody that knows this guy.
Hopefully not intimidation, but at least be stoic.
Yeah. Reserved and
roles and reserved
and
and stoic and peaceful and really just trying to ensure safe passage.
Obviously, any way we go about it, the dice are gonna fucking tell the tale regardless. But as
I
far
already know y'all are gonna pull out bows and shit, and it's gonna all fall.
No, I hate the fighting. I would like to make it known that Midan this entire time has not initiated a fight scene between anybody. I have never drawn first. I didn't shoot an ice blast at a dog. I didn't fucking shoot a bird. I did nothing other than waited till I was attacked or somebody else initiated this shit, and I was like, "Fuck, here we go."
I don't start fights, but I do somehow come through and end them.
Right. So with those, I think the two main things here are Logi's book to Orn and the Legate. There's something going on there. I don't know what he needs with the journals. Whatever that is.
Copy of Logi's book.
Yes, copy of Logi's book.
Surgery. You cannot include all of the notes in the margins, but perhaps some so that it's not obvious.
Right. Well, I can discuss that with Logi. That's all on the table. None of that is. Listen. I'm rolling up my sleeves here. I have nothing to hide. Okay. but
you also need to take a long rest, bro. How are your slots? We're at a long rest position.
I haven't used. I don't have spells, and I have taken no damage.
All right. So I think I can safely cut in as DM here. Once again, we've run the RP well dry.
Shut it and set it down, please.
Yep, I'm not even RPing
it's about
anymore.
Time here. So short rests are 8 hours, long rests are 24. This is part of the making this a little bit fucking harder on you guys. Realistically, what that means is that any of you who are short on hit points can use hit die right now in order to get those back. Much in the same way that you would have rolled hit points when you leveled up. This is like a minor rest mechanic that you can use. Logi, if you had expended any spell slots, you get those back during a short rest because you're a warlock only. Claire, in this particular instance, I'm going to give you all 5 points of your lay on hands back for a short rest. This is normally a long rest thing, but you weren't here to use them. It was more kind of a narrative choice. You shouldn't be punished for that.
I do appreciate it. I had fun and got me back into the world.
Good job, Tommy. That's all you can get.
Yep, max. Tommy, you should be back up to max health. Those of you who did level 2, we've sorted those out. You guys picked up a lot of fucking information. I think a lot of things occurred here. If I'm to understand this correctly, the plan moving forward is the forgery of the Tempest Tenebrae, which we'll discuss over Discord. And a desire to go visit the Legate up on the plateau, which we're not sure how to get up.
Yes, correct.
There's also Nalathava too that we need to maybe, and that's not so much important.
There are some questions about the girl on the boat.
Don't know if that's her still, but yeah, that's another thing is Nalathava. Any information we can get on Nalathava, any of us can get any information and tell me. Orn would be much inclined to maybe pay us for that information. Or
speaking
I'm also curious about the girl on the boat because she could be a friendly alliance that I'm willing to explore.
100%.
Speaking of Orn, he will not be at the visit that was promised to the Bronze Nilbog tomorrow at noon. He will not be again. I can't stress that enough. You guys draw in from that what you want. There was a tentative meeting agreed with the captain of the Tormeo and quite possibly a ground crew that's coming in. No other information is had on that. I think you guys have a much better picture of what's going on here in the city now. I think you're all pretty well, or at least partially invested into the story, which is great because I hope to see you all next week.
Are you doing Saturdays?
Works for me.
The only problem with Saturdays is that I have a wife who likes to spend time with me.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, and a little girl and shit, and 19,000 things that I have to do. I'm cool with the shorter session, like a 2-hour session, if we could play like during the week. I would also love to keep an audible game on the weekends so that we can play longer. I like playing longer personally.
If we're
I
cool with
would just
writing things, I can do my best to be better about it. I do enjoy doing it. I just don't push myself to do it.
I think we can keep a lot of the RP stuff more written so that we can keep like actual action moving forward. This I think is a unique circumstance because we were essentially playing 3 different parties there for a little while, and everybody had different experiences. So this was tying
Sorry
things
about
up,
that.
catching people up. No, it's cool. Like the whole mill thing and the split between the 3 of them was a direct result of getting their asses kicked at the bridge by lizard folk. And making a solid tactical call to split the party for healing purposes. I have no hate on that.
Do you know how hard it was to listen to that on the bus and not keep a straight face, by the way?
I'm going to end the recording. We're good on the recording?
Please,
I do.
wish you would have.
Yeah, next session, up the plateau.
Up the plateau, I believe, yeah. Okay. Well, we got to meet with them first, but up the plateau.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Meet Captain, then up the plateau.
Bye-bye.
Bye.